That was amazing. I love the intro. That's so
Now
cool.
let's see if she can figure out how to get rid of the background. No? Okay, I got it. It's the overlay button. Hello and welcome, heroes, to Planeshifters, episode 5, I believe.
Yep.
Oh, I am super excited today. I want to thank all my players for joining me today. Sorry we missed a week. I was incapacitated, but we're back and we are ready to kick ass and take names. Maybe, right? No?
Maybe.
Let's see how the dice rolls.
Hard maybe.
What do you guys like I like that. Let's go with that. So before we get started, I would like to take a moment to say, yes, we have a private chat. I'd like to say, if you are joining us for the first time, thank you. If you've been following us for a while, thank you. If you don't know, I am one of the hosts of the Crit Academy Dungeons & Dragons talk show. We go live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you like what you see here or you just want to come and talk D&D, please come and join us on YouTube. You can see the link down in the dibbly-doo right there below. On YouTube, we've been experimenting with including the chat with the fancy pop-outs and some other stuff to make it more engaging for our audience because we want you guys to be involved in the discussions as well. So hopefully you'll come and join us. I already forgot what tomorrow's episode, Saturday, Sunday's episode is. That's not what's
That thing.
That thing. Oh, yeah, we got it. 50 job board quests. So we're super, super excited there. Hey, Garwin, thanks for joining us. So with that, let's get everyone involved. Go ahead and we'll swing around the table. Obviously, I'm the Dungeon Master. Introduce yourself and your character. And one interesting thing about your character, it doesn't have to be super complex, just a sentence or so. Let us start with my boy, Matt.
Oh, right off the bat. Hi, my name is Matthew, and I play Garmor, the Druid. One interesting fact about himself is that he rarely shows his face beneath his mask.
Ooh, I like that.
Dun, dun, dun.
How about Austin?
Hey guys, I'm Austin. I used to be a co-host at Crit Academy. Now I'm
I miss
just
you.
an idle guy now, just kind of alive and here having fun with D&D. I play Zorax in an Azamar Paladin, Fallen Azamar Paladin. I guess I should reiterate that part. And the interesting thing about him is he has a corrupted Archangel sword.
Yeah.
It's caused a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Solved a lot of problems. Caused a lot of problems.
How about Will?
Yeah, I'm Will, not playing Cecil. I'm playing Echo, the sorcerer, who still has secrets.
Lots of secrets. I love it.
Oh no.
What?
His character died.
Who died?
Did he die?
Did he die? No, he didn't die. She's asking if your character died.
Oh no!
He is a changeling spy for the Demir Guild. So, of course, when he snuck in, he was pretending to be somebody else to spy, because that's what spies do. And then last, but certainly not least, my boy Ian.
Once again, I am Ian, co-host for Crit Academy, and I shall be once again playing Merle Bronson, human artificer. And neat thing about him, he's the kind of guy where he would go, "What's this button do?" Especially if it has a "Do Not Press" label on it.
Yeah.
I certainly feel like he's going to really be enjoying some of the next session, or this, even in this session, depending on how everything goes. I think this session. So I'm really excited. With that, how about I delve us into last time on Planeshifters? I almost forgot the name of the show for a second. Oh, actually, one more thing. Before that, if you don't know, we currently have a live Kickstarter for Extraordinary Expeditions. It is live. We are currently 45% funded. If you head on over there, you can see the link in the dibbly-doo down there. Please consider checking it out. You can at the very least, you can check out the Far-Touched Adventure for free and decide if that's something you want to help bring more of to your D&D games. It is modular 5e adventure, so I'm super excited. I'm going to be running one of them for our patrons tomorrow, so that's also fun too. With that, let's talk about what happened last time. So, hang on, I have like a million notes. Can I want to award inspiration to my boy Garmore, aka Matt, aka the Master Scribe here, because my brother here wrote me a book of notes on all the adventures for Planeshifters. So thank you for that.
Basically, what I did is just watch the last 2 sessions and do a play-by-play note-taking, almost a play-by-play, and just note-take of who did what in the battle from last session. And oh my gosh, that was a lot to do.
Yeah, you did phenomenal work. So I just want to say thank you. It makes my job actually a million times easier because my notes are chicken scratch. So it's like, what did I write here? I'm sure it made sense when I wrote it.
And then there's my handwriting, which is microscopic.
Can't even read it. So with that, let's talk. I keep saying that, but I'm going there now, I promise. So our heroes were called to meet in New Prov, the Azorius Senate's home base, if you will, to meet with the Supreme Judge. Does anybody remember her name or its name?
Isperia.
This ginormous Sphinx judge. As they sat on this tiny pillar in this massive room with this beast with 100-foot wingspan judging them. And our heroes had to answer for their quote-unquote misdeeds, which is attacking citizens of Ravnica and destroying lots of property. Of course, our heroes went through and described valiantly their predicament and did attempt to convince the Supreme Judge that everything that happened was an accident and the fighting that burst out was in self-defense, aliens in a new world, and all that jazz. And a lot of stuff kind of unfolded. Cecil revealed himself to be Echo, who had been spying for the guilds to learn more about Elturel and the people that are there. And with that, was able to provide a bit of support for our heroes from an insider's perspective. All the while they're meeting with the Supreme Judge, they were also being observed by the leaders of the other guilds. And our heroes they got to see some details, but for the most part, they didn't get to make out all the different people that were observing off in the distance, but they were being judged. There is a bit of a problem that did occur. There was some concerns from the Supreme Judge in regards to somebody slaying out of thirst and not out of self-defense. So, of course, Zorax had to divulge the information of Shadow Razor, as he was pointing out, as the weapon that he's using is one that is not exactly on friendly terms with anything or anyone. And
I think you said it was cursed. I think that was the exact verb I said. I was like, what's a good way to say that I still need to have this weapon without saying that I'm the bad guy? It's cursed.
Yes.
That's like Thor saying Loki was adopted.
Wrong.
Oh no, yeah. So
he's adopted.
Oh my gosh, that part was funny. So with this, the judge beat her magnificent wings, nearly knocked everyone off the podium as she flew away, saying that she would return after her judgment in about approximately 4 hours or so. Our heroes were then approached once again by one of the androsphinxes, who escorted them to a waiting chamber, I guess. And on the way out, we had a bit of a debacle between Echo and Captain Jara about being judged and not actually telling our heroes that that's what was going to happen, though he did defend that he believed that that was the best course of action, as he truly and genuinely believed that that the Supreme Judge is reliable and that you guys were upfront and honest. So he did point out that Zorax's Shadow Razor is likely to become a problem. So we're going to see how that's going to unfold today. So as you guys are sitting inside this chamber, and it's a waiting chamber, but it is massive. There are just these beautiful giant, 50-foot pillars that are supporting this massive domed room. And of course, when you look up inside this domed room, the ceiling looks exactly like the judgment room you were just in. Because if you remember, the room you were in was actually open to the sky. So that whole scene is painted in this waiting room. And at the center, in the very center of this room, is a replica of the enormous central pillar you are standing on. This room is almost a replica of the judgment, the area of judgment. Except for it's enclosed and you're waiting here. So during this time, you've had some, I would say about an hour has passed at this point. So I kind of want each of you to go through and tell me either to each other or to the audience or myself, what your character's kind of thinking about how this whole situation is unfolded, kind of what's going through their mind at this moment. Ian, would Merle like to go first?
This is taking way too long. They read our minds. It should be straightforward. They should have made a decision by now.
She said 4 hours.
I didn't say I was saying this out loud.
Oh.
Okay. So that's
He
kind
did
of
say this
going
is
through
what we
his
were
mind.
thinking on.
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you want, like I said, if you want to talk, you can do that too. But the assumption is I want to kind of get some insight into how your characters are feeling. So obviously, Merle is very impatient. Through this time, he has presented some nectar and some fruits and nuts. Is he kind of so frustrated that he's not willing to nibble on some of those things? Does he ask for anything from from the Androsphinx at all?
More like he's nibbling on said food out of frustration.
Okay.
He's like, I can't believe this shit.
What about Zorax?
He's trying his best not to think and trying to divulge any information to his sword about what he is attempting to do.
Oh, you didn't go the direction I was expecting there. He says
He is doing his best to just dissociate from the entire situation.
You can kind of hear the constant minion answer me in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And he's bugging you. How long has it been since he's drank, would you say?
I mean, he's trying ever since the first time he kind of let the 3 days slip. He was like, "Nah, it's not happening again."
Did he make some blows in the fight last session?
I don't recall.
I don't think I
Didn't
killed
get a
anyone.
kill.
I didn't get the finishing blow. But
You did.
But
make...
we can say that
I
would
was
sate him a little bit.
Okay.
I was gonna say it's not
Because
like
last
I
week we
didn't
had
just...
that confusion of like, don't kill him, do kill him, and he
Yeah.
got killed, but not by Zorax. So
I was also gonna just say, like, as long as I just find something small to just fucking smash my sword into it, that's kind of what he's been doing.
And this first person going, "Do what I command, minion."
Well, you see, I thought we could be like, the whole demon kind of like trying to be like, oh, you can, You scratch my back, I scratch yours. The sword don't like that. So now Zorax is like, okay, gotta get rid of this.
I love it. What about
Show in the
Garmor?
bag with the shield.
I believe that bag is sealed as the players say
Uh,
that.
Yeah.
As for Garmor, he is keeping himself as much distance as physically possible from Echo, while also meditating his thoughts through what has happened throughout the day, the attack, Echo's secret. Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. So you're building up a bit of trust issues at this point.
To say the least.
Okay. And
Zorax
then-
actually,
Go ahead.
if I can, Zorax looks towards Echo and says, "So, you like to experiment and try and figure out what's going on with this sword, right?"
I wouldn't say experiment. I just like to know about it.
Do you want to touch it firsthand and find out?
Oh, shit.
Echo just puts up his hands and he goes, from what I do know, that just seems like a bad idea.
Zorax smiles.
Probably.
He doesn't say anything else, but he smiles. And he puts
What
the
is-
sword back to his side.
I feel what you're trying to do, minion, and I do not like it. You will serve me.
Oh, I, of course, say, in my head with the sword, "Oh, please, I'm just having a little fun." It would be a fun time to see his reaction when he sees the terror that is you in this blade.
Or a good time.
Firsthand. Yeah, good time.
I didn't.
I'm trying to
my
humor with the sword a little
thoughts
bit.
yet.
Yeah, we gotta get to Will.
Yep, and then we gotta get to Echo.
So Echo's got a couple of things going through his mind. One is the decision really doesn't make a difference to him. He's not part of this city that landed on another city.
That's fair.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there's a lot to learn. So I'm definitely considering different options on if the decision goes one way or another. I'm also thinking if Jara steps too close to a ledge, I hope he trips off. I might help him. I don't like Jara. He's ignorant. He lies. What a fool. Just saying,
So-
Jara, I wouldn't feel bad. And I do have to apologize to somebody.
Oh yeah. Anybody in particular, or you
I have
keeping
to
that on the deal?
apologize to Osiv.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
right.
He's with you.
he's here.
So he goes. Shit, I don't remember the voice I got. Man, I lose so much when it's gone. Do you have a thick Russian accent? I don't remember.
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure being something to brick was some,
Half
yeah.
giant orc.
Yeah, so he walks over and you see the Androsphinx approaches him with some food, and it's nuts and berries, and he goes, "Ah! What is this crap? You try to feed me this? I want some real meat." And the Androsphinx is just kind of like, "We do not devour flesh here. You'll have to wait until you leave, if that is the case." He gets all kind of grumpy, and he kind of just walks. Now he starts pacing back and forth. He busts out a whetstone and is sharpening his axe.
Got an extra grand, does he?
Ah! Para-
Of course, he's
Wow.
grinding an axe when I go to talk to him. Oh, all right. So I go up to Osiv and I say, Osiv,
What?
I realize I haven't been honest with you. I like you, Osiv, and I don't want me being somebody else to be an issue. I also came to apologize. You see, I took the biggest person from the city on purpose to come with us. Had things gone sideways in the courts, I would have used your shadow to basically disappear. So I'm sorry for that.
What? I wasn't listening. I was sharpening an axe.
That's just how much Osif cares. He's like, I don't care.
It's like,
I just kind of give him the, okay, Osif, I'm glad we're still on good terms. And I walk away before I confuse him and anger him.
he mumbles, everybody hides in my shadow. So a little bit of time passes. You guys kind of are conversing about, what's unfolding, and a knock comes from the door, and the Androsphinx is just kind of like, that is very strange. And he kind of just, beats his wings over there, and he flutters over the door, and the big giant stone door slides open, and a strange strange figure stands in the dark, and all you hear is a very deep thunderous voice says, "May I have a word with you for a moment?"
Identify yourself.
I kind of
I don't understand them.
Yeah,
Good job.
only 2 out of the 4 of us understand what they're saying around here.
So he waits at the door, and this kind of, once again, it's there's a bit of a shadow there. You do have kind of the ever continual flames kind of flickering, but he's kind of standing just outside of the light of the door. May I enter?
He is asking to enter. Should we let our guest in?
Have themselves identify first.
Zorax sighs. What is your name?
He takes a big, deep breath, and he says, "The name is Sethrecker Weston's son, master of the Grolls."
I think we're letting him in.
Was it really a choice?
He is the master of... back me up, Echo. I didn't hear that part.
Rules.
That. This sounds like an esteemed guest. I tell him, please, welcome. Welcome to our...
I immediately stand up with being ready for anything.
So, go ahead.
I don't think he's here to be hostile, friend. Especially when there is a sphinx the size of, a building, maybe about a couple thousand feet away.
I add anybody that's part of a different clan could be hostile in any situation, as we've learned with the Orzhov.
That's
Zorax
a good
shrugs.
point.
Yeah, fair.
So as he walks in, he takes a deep breath, and he's a giant of a man. You would equate him to maybe a Goliath or something in Faerun.
Mm-hmm.
As he walks in, he's got this massive war paint. He has it looks like a lion, but it's like gray and streaked fur that wraps around him and goes over his shoulder and kind of bites down on itself. And then he has a sword the size of a damn surfboard attached to his back. But the weapon doesn't look like a finely crafted piece of equipment. It looks more something forged and made out of maybe a bone of sorts. And it is very rudimentary looking. And he says...
Guy's walking out the refrigerator door as a weapon.
Right. And as he does, as he's got this big posture, and Osif sees him. You see Osif kind of stand up and puff out his chest a little
Yeah,
bit.
he's like, is my masculinity being challenged?
I mean, he
Can't have
doesn't
that.
say nothing.
Yeah, I
but
know.
that's kind of what the impression you're getting,
Yeah.
right? That he's got this. He's itching to show that he's bigger and stronger, but this guy's pretty muscular, right? He's got a massive scar that goes over his left eye, and then has another one that goes and makes a cross shape on it. He clearly has seen some battles in some wars in his day. So with that, he says, you can call me Sethrakar. I have come at behest of the guildmaster of the Gruul clans. I myself am the chieftain of the Gore clan. Now, we have some concerns. Well, my master has some concerns. He kind of looks around and eyeballs each one of you, and everyone give me an insight check.
12.
Hang on. Checking my talent.
14.
It's not.
Nah.
14.
And 15.
I got only a 13. Actually, I have shrewd investigator. No, that's investigation and deception, I think. Never mind. So yeah, 13.
What was the highest? 14?
15.
15.
Ravnica, who was that?
Garmor.
Garmor.
Okay, so Garmor, as he takes a look around, you can tell he's kind of hesitant. He kind of the only one he seems to have any sort of respect for would likely be Osiv and maybe Zorax. But he kind of just looks down his mighty, long nose at the rest of you, kind of like he doesn't believe that he's here. It's more or less that...
I also do kind of pull my hood up and disguise my face just so that I don't draw any more attention.
So you kind of pull your do you pick on a new face entirely, or?
Yes, I pick out a face from one of the soldiers from the city.
So you guys look, and as he kind of transforms, he takes on this really ugly, beaten up face of an old-time wartime veteran. And you kind of get a raised eyebrow like the Rock would give as you change from I'm gonna call him Seth Ricard. Hang on a second,
I was trying to do the hood so he didn't notice me, but
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Then that's gonna.
I mean, he can have a chance to notice it. That's
yeah, I was
fair.
gonna say, give me a. You're trying to do it subtly. Then let's do it a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Good luck.
A 9.
Well, he certainly. You attempt to, but unfortunately, your hair gets kind of. Wait, do you even have hair? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I do have a little.
Sure.
bit.
Okay, as you're trying to pull it up, it kind of gets snagged a little bit, and it draws his attention just subtly. And so he does. You're not sure if he catches wind of it, but for us, he did. So he says,
Okay.
He takes a deep breath. He says, "I have been sent here by Domri Raid, our guild master. Much to my chagrin, Domri thinks that you may be exactly what we seek. So the question is, do you... I got to figure out how I want to word this.
Carefully.
Yes. Because I'm trying to stick with the themes of the guilds too.
Mhm.
And make sure that I follow them pretty closely. So he says, Domri doesn't believe that believes that the balance in power is shifting, and that your coming may have something to do with that. The guild pact is weakening, and with your influence, we may finally be able to break the chains from these weaklings, as his eyes dart over to the Androsphinx. While the judge is making her decision, the guild leaders have a say. So I have come to offer you a proposal. To gain her vote to not destroy you and banish you, or whatever the Supreme Judge decides is the best punishment for assaulting Ravnica, Domri will give their vote to ensure that you are released of any crimes. But in exchange, oops, shit, I didn't mean to click that.
Zorax is relaying this as he's saying this to he's interpreting.
In exchange, you will help us bring down our enemies and allow the Gruul clans to rule on top once more. So I say to you, will you aid us in our just cause to let power reign supreme and allow us to, and he kind of scoffs at the Sphinx, these politicers, and he kind of just says it with a little bit of disgust, remove them from the power that they possess. The strong should rule. And he eyes Zorax as he looks at it, and looks at you, and then his eyes go to your weapon and then back to you, where strength reigns supreme, not the power of the pen. Do you accept Domoraid's offer, or do you reject him?
Who are your enemies?
That, my friend, is a long, long conversation. But let us just say, the world is a place of survival of the fittest, not chaotic magics and written documentations that leave people sitting and rotting in a cell for most of their life before a judgment is finally passed. A battle of combat ends all is quicker resolution than a paper document can be drafted up.
Echo.
Who is it you?
Sorry. Echo would just like to casually walk over to Garmor and whisper to him.
He's stepping aside.
What?
Choosing not to listen, I suppose.
You don't want to listen to me, huh? All right, then I will go to the Androsphinx. Seems like a funny change, but it's worth it.
Okay, so you walk over to the Androsphinx. His wings are kind of beaten there, and he's got a bit of a annoyed look, but he doesn't say anything. Unless do you asking him anything?
I'm gonna whisper to him and say, will you allow this Gruul to undermine you like this?
Give me just 1 second to get a reply here. He says, well, I must be honest. The Gruul are dangerous anarchists with no interest in furthering the development of civilization. They serve no useful purpose, in my opinion. And then with a burling shout, Sethrakar stands up and kind of bellows out, and he says, civilization is a disease, and the azorius are its plague bearers. Once you're all gone and removed from power, Ravnica can reclaim its primal essence. Fool. Do you accept my master's offer or not? Oh, and if you seemed hesitant, I was also said that he would allow you to create and forge your own clans, taking from any of the weaker to form your own Grohl clan and take your take your spot among the mighty.
And we established that Zorax is communicating this to the non-Ravnica speakers,
I am.
correct?
I would like to ask, are you translating it accurately? Because your motives are different than everybody else's.
So, that's what I'm trying to think right now this entire time.
See, this
I'm
is where it gets interesting because you're the translator.
Yes.
Well, also, it is worth noting that our Echo is also aware. So he would be able to identify whether you're full of shit, but whether
truthful or not, yes.
But you don't know what side he's really on. So
Yeah.
you have to decide how that would get translated.
I'm aware that should I choose the side of this man who is saying we could stay here and, do whatever, essentially, as long as we just kill a few people, that Garmor would likely be very apprehensive towards the entire idea because of his good-willed nature.
It's true.
So it is not in my best interests to side with some random guy when I know the guy standing right next to me could absolutely pose a threat to my health. Because I've seen Garmor in battle, and I can attest to the fact that he can indeed whoop some ass. So,
fair enough.
Saying that, this man who's big and tough, scoffing at, my ally here is like, you haven't seen him fight, so I don't really care what he has to think too much. Yep. Also, I might have to fight Merle on top of all of this because he is also a relatively good-natured person. So it's
relatively.
So I'm at best 2v3. It's not looking in my odds, so I'm relaying this as truthfully as I can.
Okay.
So you're saying these guys respect might, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And would you guys say that I am, relatively speaking, might be the least physically imposing of the group?
I am unsure.
Well, it all depends on what I change into.
Based on, I think he's just asking in general based on what you guys see. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We need, as much as a pain, we need this society to go back to where we belong.
Now, hold up here. That's just one faction out of many.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows how much resources they have at their disposal.
Correct.
That's what I was implying.
If anything, the Azorius Senate probably has more power currently. And I would rather be on the side of the Sphinxes. Well, he can't hear us.
Oh, you guys are talking in your own language.
We're talking in common. Because I'm talking with them.
Yeah.
Our common.
Nice. So he's getting impatient and he's you can see that he's getting he starts to pace back and forth, tapping his foot. Do you have an answer for my master or not?
I walk up to him.
Just looking straight up at him.
I extend my fist.
You
What does this mean?
Does this mean you agree to Domri raids?
I shake my fist again, indicate now you.
So he's putting his hand out too. So he kind of gingerly puts his hand out.
No.
What a strange.
What is?
I push against it.
And so you just do a knuckle bump basically.
No.
To this
I
giant.
push against it.
Okay, so you push What are you doing?
So, are you trying to imply we're fighting him. We're fighting against him.
I'm trying to imply a physical test of strength.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So give me so as you begin to kind of he's clearly confused as he holds out his plan and starts pushing. Give me a strength athletics check and we'll do
that's
a contested
really
check. He got a 24.
Okay, so I might have to dip into let's see here. Human aptitude.
Nice.
Oh, that was unfortunate.
funny.
Get 19.
So as you begin to push, he starts to struggle a little bit, and you see a moment of surprise on his face, and then you're struggling a little bit, and a bead of sweat is runs down his face as he starts to push, and then finally he shoves you back, and you get knocked back a couple feet. He goes, "So we're in agreement then."
No.
Because this guy imagines that he just tried to show
That
how
shows
strong
it.
he is.
Yeah.
Um,
I was for the record was not necessarily expecting to win, even though I have gauntlets of ogre strength.
yes, I know you do.
That's impressive.
But that's why I made.
But I was figuring this guy. I was also figuring this guy was not smart enough to figure that out.
No,
and I
he's
was-
not.
Just as much expecting to catch him off guard, like, wait, who are these guys? Kind of thing.
So
Yeah, and so he took it as an agreement. Go ahead. Sorry.
I kind of walk over and my staff clicks across the ground and I look at Zorax and I go, I don't think you all understand what the Gruul are doing here. And in common, I kind of tell them, I explain to them that the Gruul would cause chaos, and even if we were on their side, the city that everybody has been fighting to protect for the month or so we've been here would be in danger.
Yeah. I walk back to Zorax. Tell our friend here that I was the physically weakest of the group.
Zorax is actively laughing like, I see what's going on here. I walk up to the big man, and I say, in his tongue, that was the weakest member of our group.
He stumbles back a little bit and he says,
Also,
"Well, that
we
explains why
decline.
Domri Raid is interested." What? You decline my generous master's offer? You
Well-
fools. You realize now that he will vote you out to be punished.
so be it.
He
We came here against our will. We'll get out with our will.
He roars and kind of bellows, "Oh!" in frustration. And when he does that, not only do you see the brutish strength in him, but you can see a little bit of what you can actually give me a insight check, because that's going to be very subtle. Everyone can go ahead and do that.
Damn it! I got a 12. Actually, I can do my edit point this time, I guess. I'll do it.
I got a dirty 20.
I got a 23. 22.
Nice.
22.
That's a 29 from Garmore.
Oh!
A man has read this man like a book.
This guy wasn't getting away from anybody.
Natural 19 on my part.
Nice. So, as he's kind of raging and bellowing at the frustration and calling you guys all sorts of insults that you don't even know what half of them are, because they're using well, you would, I guess. I got to get used to the fact that one of you is actually from here, right? And like one of the words is he's Loxodon shit or something similar to that. And he's insulting you, but for just a moment, those of you that rolled over a 20 actually spot a bit of fear and concern in his eyes. he kind of turns around with a bellowing of his lion-like cape and strode right out the door. And you can hear him muttering and kind of bellowing. His echoes bouncing off all the stone and stuff, leading out as he's leaving.
I turned to Merle. I am very happy with what you did. The look on his face, priceless. When I told him that you were the weakest, and I put air quotes, even more priceless. Thank you.
There was fear in his eyes as he raged away.
Well, there was an asterisk next to that, but hey.
Yeah.
And I kind of had just much fun screwing with him as much as anything else.
I
like
intervene a little bit in our celebration, I'll say, and tell them the Gruul are brutal. Don't underestimate them.
I kind of just shake my head a little bit to Echo, and I say, if only you had been with us in our last adventure, you would scoff at them. You have never seen hell, have you? And you can just see that my face is just like, you can just see in like the look in my eye that I am just like so serious that like the horrors that we have seen and the things that we have like watched people just change and just turn into on the fly and the bending of space and time. You can just read that, or at least I hope so. I hope that translates. The point is I'm very serious about like, you've never been to hell, have you?
My face changes.
It's
as
like
I
the
talk to
1,000-yard
you.
stare.
And you can see like my face is burned and melted looking and looks like it's barely holding together. And I tell him, I might not have been to hell, but I've seen pieces of it.
I like that. So
I pat you on the shoulder and I say, good. That means you'll have experience with us.
And then my face turns back to Echo now that it's just us in the room again.
Sure you don't want to touch the sword? It'll pass the time, I promise.
Jara's in the room, right? Or is Jara?
Yes, Jara's in the room.
Yeah. I suggest to Zorax, how about you see if he wants to touch it?
I love that you're just running around trying to get people to touch your sword.
I walk over to Jara. This is gonna be good. I'm kind of like nodding in agreement, like, yeah, it's a good idea. So I walk over and I say, Jara, friend.
Yep.
So this is the sword in question that has been apparently bringing much misfortune to myself and my party.
Are you not surprised? I can feel its darkness.
Correct. Would you like to touch it firsthand to see how it feels? And I'm going to roll persuasion for it. I want to see if I can just intrigue him enough to do it.
You have to beat a 17.
There's no way. Let's see. Does this work on persuasion as well? No, intimidation, investigation, perception. No, damn. Nope. I failed. I got a 9.
Because no, I don't want anything to do with that thing. And he kind of takes a step backwards away from you. He's just like, I don't think so. The Andro Sphinx walks up. Oh, go ahead.
Zorax laughs is like, I understand. It's a shame, but I understand. That's like your first drink. You'll never forget it.
That's funny. The Andro Sphinx walks in and says, well, I won't be surprised if more knock, knock, knock show up.
I use soul sensing to see how many are behind the door.
I changed my
Um,
face again before the door even opens.
Because I can see how many souls are behind the door.
Just one.
Ah,
Well, how far does it go?
60 feet.
You can you can see a few. You can see their energy radiating, but only one is immediately outside the door.
Ah, another singular visitor. Shall we let these ones in? Oh wait, Garmor's not here right now to say no. Absolutely, we will let them in.
The door creaks open, and a lovely woman with dark skin and green eyes and short pixie-like hair that scoops up and has this very nice looking almost looks like it's made out of like a leather dress that comes up and rolls over, and it instantly Echo, you recognize this as one of the leaders of the Demir, specifically Etrata, known as the Silencer. Since nobody gets to generally speak with the Guildmaster, this is usually the Guildmaster's right-hand person, right? Their champion, I guess you could say.
And just so
Right.
we're clear, I did change my face before she came in.
You did.
Yes.
So as she
That's
walks
not going to do me
in,
much good, but
well,
Yeah, not for this person.
not for this one.
right? She goes. She walks in. She says, oh, "Hang on, let me check something here."
I look over to Echo, and I
Well, you
kind of
don't
just
know this is
whisper.
a Demir yet.
Well, I
No,
don't know
yeah.
who this person is, and I'm just gonna say,
Oh,
should I
okay.
be worried about this person? You seem to know a lot about this place. Should I be worried? When an estranged, beautiful lady comes walking into our room, beaming with confidence.
I tell him quietly, just listen carefully.
Ah, one of my not strong suits. Got it.
That's funny.
The last
Yeah,
time I listened to
I don't really do
something, I
that.
corrupted a god lord.
She says, she walks in. She says, "Well, isn't this just?"
Special.
That's what she said. Isn't this just perfect? Her eyes kind of dart around to each of you. She walks up. She lights this long
you say?
stick. What?
What'd you say, Zorax?
Oh, she said, how wonderful to see all of us. Or something to that
Um,
effect.
And she has this really long pipe, but it's super thin, and at the end's a little tiny cigarette. Think Corello DeVille type thing. And she lights
Okay.
it, takes a big whiff, and blows it right in Jara's face.
I really need to learn this language.
She goes, so...
Perhaps we could grab a blueprint for that. That looks very fancy.
It's just a
you'd be
shaft with
wrong.
a hole in the middle of it.
Zorax is easily impressed.
Yes!
I
Came from
look at
Baldur's
Zorax
Gate,
and I
baby!
s-
Get,
Zorax, I told you to
get,
listen
I
carefully.
say while smoking a cigar.
Yeah, I have not been doing well as the translator here. I already missed the first sentence.
So she says, so undoubtedly the rest of the guild masters will come send their associates to converse with you. Politics and all. So of course, Master Lazav has sent me to you. She is, hang on a second.
I'm also just translating to Merle as we speak.
I forgot to pull up some of these pictures so I know whether these are like females or males or something in between.
Fair.
Trying to get ahead of it, but I'm not super great at it. Okay, this is definitely a dude. Or a they. Or an it. Anyway, so Master Lazav has an offer for you.
Great.
if you would be interested in taking it. As you may know, the judge is deciding whether you're to be punished or released.
Hmm.
And as you might know, the guild masters have a bit of say in it. So, Master Lazif is willing to offer you his aid and his vote should you accept his offer. So, here's the offer. He would like to know and gather every piece of information you'd be willing to share about this plane you come from. This Faerun? Faerun. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I think you get the idea. And in exchange for information, its peoples, its cultures, its secrets, he is willing to give you his vote to ensure that you are free of any misunderstandings that have arisen that could prevent you from falling on the right side of the law today. If you catch my drift.
I look over to Merle. I feel like we never escaped Avernus with all these deals we're getting. However, this one's a lot better than the last one.
So, Echo,
That's not high bar.
you do know that the core of the Dimir is knowledge trading and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So the only thing that really jumps out at you is that she doesn't mention the use of this knowledge. So take that how you will.
Oh, I noticed.
But
I stand up from where I went to sit down, and I tell the group, there's very little you could tell them now that they wouldn't already know.
I don't know. I think we know a pit fiend that can give her quite a bit of information.
Oh, but that's not on Faerun. That'd be Avernus. Oh, that's a shame.
Don't you have one in your pack?
Exactly.
Yes.
Sealed away in your bag of holding or whatever?
Yeah.
Yes. The
Bound
Mr.
in a
Hidden Lord, as
bound in a shield, if I remember correctly.
yes, that
Yes.
none of us should ever touch ever.
Oh, I'm sure he knows plenty about Faerun.
So, are
I guess
you
I
willing
could touch
to
it now.
accept my master's offer? A trade for a trade, equivalent exchange. Information is
No.
priceless.
I kind
And
of
you
look
got-
over at Merle. You have the shield, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so here's how I think, I guess.
Wait, what are you talking about?
So we hand her the shield
Oh,
and we
but
watch
hang
the
on a
fireworks
second.
happen.
Before we go any farther, we need to know what Garmore has missed because he was having troubles.
Oh, right.
Oh, he's listening on the phone.
Yeah, he was listening on
Oh,
the phone.
okay. I
A
didn't know
little
that. Okay.
bit. Like
A Demir lady
have
walked
any-
in.
Do you have
You know
any
that the-
questions?
what happened when I broke off before
I don't.
the Demir woman stepped in?
Not a lot. Small
Not a
talk.
whole lot. They were just doing some small talk, nothing and super.
Yeah.
Yeah, we turned down the first offer.
Okay.
Which was
No,
from the
no.
girl.
That I was present for.
Yeah.
That's it. I tried to get Jara to touch the sword.
Oh yeah, that's what he was doing. He was walking around getting people to try to touch his sword.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a second. You never offered for me to touch the sword.
Because I know what's gonna happen. I don't want it to happen to you.
Come on, take it. Anyway, so with that, she says, "Well,
I want to watch the fireworks. I don't want to watch my friend die.
oh, look, you
Oh.
caused him to disconnect again.
He touched the
Okay.
sword.
He touched
Okay.
the sword.
Okay, what is going on? I don't understand this.
You touched the
Okay,
sword.
now you're really making me want to touch it even more.
I'm using
That's funny.
my mobile hotspot for my phone to try to have a better connection while my router rebooted, but maybe I could try.
I tell you what, Merle. Later, for
Are
sure.
you gonna answer my question or not? My
For
master
science.
For science.
is tired of waiting.
So
And y'all been doing what with this information?
I relay that.
Well, she turns to you and says, "Well, simple. Information is meant to be manipulated and shared and leveraged. Knowledge is important, and the best knowledge isn't for free."
Understandable.
Which-
So, and I speak back into common. So, are we really about to just let this woman touch the shield of the hidden lord to talk to a thousands of year old pit fiend?
I don't think that's wise. Wait,
Probably not.
what?
I mean, sure, it's
I,
not wise, but think of the story.
I
Do
look
you
at
have any
Zorax.
idea how many more important things I have to do than listen to you drabble on?
I look at Zorax and I tell him,
Do you
I
know how
might-
much we give a crap?
You have
I
a what now?
specifically don't relay that.
I
How does
might work
Garmore?
with the
Wait. Don't any of y'all have like some reading material or a novel or something?
Or like a what?
Like a novel or something?
Oh, like a book of Faerun. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Do we have anything? Anyone? I guess I don't.
I mean, I got some writings and stuff, but that's more like diagrams and scientific examinations and the like.
Yeah.
Zorax.
Yes. Hello.
I might work with the Demir,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I would advise you to be careful how much you tell them.
Okay, but why? I have to ask.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Am
That one
I
sounded like-
positive that he doesn't understand common?
No.
Did he get mad when anybody said anything in common?
She did not. No.
She? Okay.
But a good spy doesn't give away facial expressions anyway. You would know that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an insight check. I'll contest it with her,
Okay.
but I'm not going to tell you what I rolled. Because I want
I
to leave you as the
rolled-
player unsure.
An 11.
You don't think you're pretty confident there's no way that they could have learned the language as quickly as you?
Well, I mean, there's
because
a few ways around it temporarily with
even-
magic.
That's definitely true. You also know that you shared a lot of that information with your contact.
I have shared a lot. That's true.
That includes everything you've learned of the language.
Right.
Oh no.
So you think it's highly unlikely that she is unable to understand you?
I talked
I
to
hold my
the.
tongue. I don't.
I-
I hold my tongue.
I whispered to the exiles, "You have a what now?"
Oh, right. You weren't here for this. Merle, pull the shield out. Pull the shield out.
Nah.
No? Oh, okay.
You're
I mean,
like
I
a
don't
kid playing with a toy gun. You just don't do that. Or with a gun. You don't do that.
Yeah,
Or a
but
ma-
like,
Or
Or
a monkey
do
banging
it.
a wrench on a nuclear warhead.
yeah, It's like, I want to see the fireworks.
Let's see what'll happen right in the middle of this place where we're being judged by a ginormous sphinx who probably just farts and kills us. Yeah. Some good ideas. I love Zorax nature. It's great.
But I'm here for the story. I'm here for the good times.
But
Good time.
we should decide what the answer is going to be with the Demir.
Right. So I think we're in agreement that we would like their help in this particular case, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sure back at the city, there's a few nows laying around where they can extrapolate some information as well as some other liberious objects.
Right. I relay that to her, saying, we accept your offer. We do not know what we'll be able to divulge to you, but we will do our best to give you something that you don't already know.
Wonderful. Don't call us, we'll call you. And she walks out.
Zorax is like,
Can I insight check her as she walks away?
Sure.
okay, that just happened.
Oh, son of a gun. 14.
Don't call us, we'll call you. She clearly, I will say that you were able to tell that she felt like whatever she was doing was probably a waste of her time. Like she didn't feel like she needed to be there. Like somebody lesser should be doing the job than her.
Yeah,
But
well.
A little
I
time
should have asked
passes.
her to touch the evil dark sword. Damn. That would have kicked her ass on the floor. Oh well.
Can I
What's
just
done is
say,
done.
I want to give a huge shout out to my wife who has made some awesome little caption things.
Yeah, those are great.
I haven't seen all of them, but I just saw one and I'm just clicking it now, starring Justin because I'm starring me.
I thought it was
And-
Total Dumas.
It was. She made
Yeah.
me change it.
Are you just playing with them? I already did that.
Oh, did you? Oh, I didn't know she already
Yeah.
did this. Now I'm just playing with them.
She's been through it, but it's good to rehash.
Yeah, rehash
yeah.
that shit. It's really cool. I love it. It's really cool.
It is.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so some time is going by. What's that?
I had one that said, "Do you feel lucky?" When you said, "Do you
Do you
feel
feel lucky?
what?"
I love it. So with that time, a little bit of time passes. We'll say about approximately like a half hour or so. What kind of conversation are you guys carrying on at this moment? Do you involve Jara? Jara does kind of keep his distance away from Zorax and his sword. You can see him
Perfect.
kind of urging away. He's talking
He's like,
more to the
oh my
Andro
god, I
Sphinx.
don't want this.
The Andro Sphinx kind of reiterates to you guys. The Supreme Judge is a great judge of character. Now, as you've heard from these fools, they do have some sway because of the Guild Pact, but hers has a little more weight. So
Which makes
just what I'm saying is just be careful of who you choose to trust. Those the beasts of Grohl, or
No.
the thieves of the Demir. I
Thieves and
highly
thieves.
and when you say that, he lifts a cat eyebrow. Really? You must be new, ish.
Biased.
With that, so kind of tell me what's kind of going through on your characters. What are you kind of discussing at this moment? Because you obviously are aware that the other guilds are likely to approach you.
I finally
I
approached Merle.
pull the exiles away to the side and whisper to them, okay, so what is the shield that you are talking about?
I don't want to talk about that right now. Merle, it's sword time. Touch.
Hmm.
A lot more
I
imposing
think-
when it's offered, huh?
I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
Garmore, you're asking because the
Notice
audience
I was
doesn't know.
gesturing, me extending a finger towards it.
Are you trying to touch it?
Yes, I am trying to touch it.
The sword of very evil.
Oh, goodness.
Damn it, now I gotta go open that thing up and see everything that it does. I forgot.
Well,
Garmor's body language looks very confused.
How did you not have that open already with all of the sword offering that has been happening?
Because most of it is like combat mechanics. And
it
that's
is all mostly combat mechanics,
But there are some. But I need to know exactly what it does.
Yeah,
So
I would
that
even
when
say I think
he does
it's-
some crazy shit, I've like got it. I don't even know what the hell that thing's called. Sword Razor.
Shadow Razor.
Shadow
I can
Razor.
just send it right
Shadow.
to
Not to be confused with Black Razor.
right.
Not that it all wasn't inspired by that.
I can just send it to the thing.
I got
real
it, it's
quick. This is
fine.
okay, cool. Well, I already sent it, but that's fine.
Okay, yeah. So as you poke out, and you touch it, this kind of chill rushes through your body, and you hear, "Wonderful, another minion. Listen, fool, this one has not given me a good meal in some time." I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, Merle.
Constitution.
You have a +5 because of me, so you're welcome.
Okay, with the +5, that means I'm going to have a 27.
Good.
So some of some of the dark energy kind of rushes through the weapon, and it makes you feel easy or uneasy and queasy. What did you say you got?
27.
27.
And you begin to kind of throw up, but you kind of are able to stuff it back down as it makes you. It doesn't hurt you, but it makes you very uncomfortable. And kind of like when you're about to go down a roller coaster, that gut feeling you got, it's kind of gut wrenching and twisting your innards. Something
Nauseous?
you're not used to. I don't know that nauseous is the right word. Just the kind of when you left your stomach up in the air when it goes down. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it doesn't make you sick or anything, but you do start to kind of get the urge to have some stuff come back up. Maybe nauseous is the right word, but very awkward. And the thing says, "So, will you ensure he feeds me today? This minion is slacking lately."
If you're thinking about to take orders from a slab of metal, you must be about as sharp as a chicken's egg.
You dare insult me?
Did he say that out loud?
Remove his arms.
I just
Probably said it out
holster
loud,
the
yeah.
sword back.
What? No.
Oh, damn. You did a lot better than I
Garmor?
thought you would. I'm impressed.
Firmly says,
Yeah.
And
what
apparently the
was
sword of yours is
that?
an idiot. You didn't even
Oh,
catch
yeah.
my double insult on him.
No, I'm an idiot, and I'm trying to read 20 things at once. So I did. If I missed it, my bad.
Sharp as a chicken's egg. Saying he's
What'd you
dumb
say?
and not very.
He's
and
dumb.
dull.
Man. I gotcha. Yeah, I did miss that. So with that, Jara walks up and he says,
I believe
I
Garmer
have-
wanted to say something, actually.
"Yep, go ahead."
Garmor,
Yeah.
that's you. You said you wanted to say something before we were...
Oh, I thought you were.
Gonna cut
saying something. He firmly says, "What just happened?"
What do you mean? I'm confused because I'm like I feel like it's been pretty clear what's been going on. He touched the sword and something happened.
Just what exactly does that sword do?
I
It's
hold
an
the sword
idiot.
out.
Sword's an idiot.
Jara
I look
says
at
that
Zorax.
thing is-
Look at Merle. Remember what just happened to him? Look back at Zorax. Do you take me for an idiot?
No, but you sound curious. So I'm offering you the explanation. In the
The
most
knock
practical
comes
way
at the door
possible.
again.
It seems we're
Why
busy
can't you
again.
just tell me?
Because it's less fun.
Another knock comes at the door. May
Echo
I
clearly
enter?
knows it's
I
not a
start
good
scrolling
idea.
down notes of the experience of touching the sword.
You're like, wow, that was so weird.
Someone's at the door.
I go to open the door.
Alright.
Or the Sphinx does, I guess, normally.
Yeah, the Sphinx opens it. Do you want me to let her in?
I soul check to see how many is at the door.
There are 3. A very large soul and 2 smaller ones.
This time there's 3 people.
When I say
at the door,
small, like
guys.
the other signatures are like the size of a fist. The other 2.
Oh.
So something strange. There is
In
a
the
large
neighborhood.
person, and then there is 2 smaller people, about the size of my hands.
Come again?
That's what I'm telling you. You'll see when they come through the door. I promise I'm not wrong.
So with that, they enter the door, and you see this absolutely radiant, slender but athletic woman with long pointy ears, clearly an elf of sorts, and two floating fairies, pixies. You're not really sure. You've not seen their kind before, kind of hovering around her. And she says, "Well met. I have come under Guildmaster." Make sure I get the name right. Hang on. My name is Amara, and I come under Guildmaster Tristani's orders.
I look over to Echo. What was Tristani?
You're asking me as a player?
I said Echo. I said Echo.
Do you need me to tell? Do you need me to tell you what you know about her?
Yes, please.
Echo. Echo is the guild master of the Selesnya Enclave. The Selesnya Conclave. What did I say? Conclave. It's a very much a druid type group of people. Very nature loving, dryads, fairies, pixies, elves, the whole shebang. You know that at the heart of the Selesnya faith and philosophy is the world's soul called Mat Selesnya, which its devotees believe to be the manifestation of nature itself. At the signing of the original guild pact, Mat Selesnya was embodied in an elemental form and acted as the guild's first guild master. So that's kind of what you know. They're very all tree huggery-ish.
Yes.
Seems much more delightful than the others.
My master Tristani has an offer for you. If you would accept it, she ensures that she will vote for your freedom.
Oh joy!
Who does this woman represent?
Those of your kind, I believe, the Druids.
Yes, Garmore, you would get
Fit
along
right in.
well with them.
Bunch of tree huggers.
I look to Amara and say in Druidic, Druids, you say?
I do.
He said that in Druidic, the language of the Druids.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I miss that? Did you say that?
Yeah, he said it.
Okay. I am so sorry. See, that's the problem with trying to jump back and forth in this book is I'm only paying half attention as I'm trying to find stuff. Because I was like, I'll just go in order, but I was like, somebody's gonna pick up if I go in order. That they're in order because it's alphabetical. But so now I'm like trying to jump around. But anyways, I guess I would say I have to be careful though, because is Druidic in Faerun the same as in Ravnica?
That is a fair question.
I'm gonna allow it.
Because it's more fun that way, and it's less.
And it brings something into place that doesn't get enough attention.
Here's a bit of a middle ground. Their accents could be different.
I was gonna say that.
Or dialects.
Okay, so you're like the country bumpkin version of Druidic then. So he's like, woo, I love me some Trace.
Oh shoot. Hang on. Okay, never mind.
He's like, take that back.
No,
I could say one is more heavy Russian, whereas the other is more American.
This is America. We speak American.
Not even well. Anyway, she says, "Oh my, oh jeez, I could not have possibly imagined that one of our kind would have been among those from the crashing city."
Actually,
Actually,
kind of picture it more of as like one speaks Portuguese, one speaks Spanish. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, fantastic. We've moved on.
It annoys Echo to no end that he can't understand what they're saying.
It's one of the few languages he has not attained because he
Yeah.
physically cannot attain it.
Cannot attain it.
Good.
Zorax is in
and
awe.
so she
He has
says,
never heard this before. In all
he
of his
goes, so I am so surprised to see one who has the connection to the world such as we do, who is not from our world. That is fascinating, though your dialect seems a little off.
I
But
figured that would be the case.
either way, this makes negotiating much easier. So, as I have said, Master Tristani has an offer for you if you are so inclined to accept it. She is willing to grant you her boon to help ensure you are cleared of all crimes, so long as you aid her in one of her tasks.
What is the task?
Justin doesn't know. Give me a second. I don't know if
I
you
guess I
guys
should have
remember me
said-
complaining about how this book is laid out.
I guess I should have relayed that first in narration.
All right, so yeah, go ahead and talk amongst yourselves about what she's saying. Because at this
She
point, you
said-
guys are getting kind of used to they want something.
Yeah.
She says that Master Tristani is willing to grant us her boon if we complete a task of theirs.
And the task is
much like
But
the
it depends
previous
on. But she has yet to relay that information on what the task is.
Were
I
you
might
guys?
probably have to do some like chop down the mighty string of force with a herring.
What on earth were you guys speaking? I have
Please
never heard
tell us.
that.
The language of the
Tongue
Druids.
before. The Druids have their own language. Zorax is in awe that he never knew this.
He's like, what?
You didn't know that?
No! Why would I need to? I lived in Baldur's Gate. There's no trees. It's just fire and pain.
But yes.
How do you
it
learn
is
this?
By being
Being
a
a druid.
druid.
Jinx.
Zorax is just like just
Which
dabbing
I
his forehead
doubt
like,
that you could have the
that's-
patience for such a metal.
I do have a question for the DM. Now, being a linguist, would I be able to pick up pieces of anything they say just with the vast knowledge of language?
Let me confer.
I am
Druidicus-
gonna make a executive decision here because he has a feat that means he's studied languages, which means regardless of the language, if he can't figure it out, he might be able to recognize patterns. And to me, it's kind
he
of
might be
like,
able to,
I watch Japanese anime.
Uh-huh.
There's some words that I picked up, but I don't know the language. And
Right.
to me, it might be something like that. But I
Okay.
don't
Yeah,
know. I would say go ahead and give me an Yeah, understand the roots. Anyways, that's really good. All right, let me,
Roots.
so what I'm going to ask is, in order to actually make any sort of semblance of it, I need you to give me an intelligence check. And
Which is actually what the feat would incline. It says others cannot decipher a code you create unless you teach it to them. They succeed on an intelligence check of some sort.
Yeah, and
so, I mean,
it's and according
this
to
could be
the,
a code, I guess.
according to the description of the language Druidic, it is known as a secret language of Druids. So I'm assuming that it's not going to be like the exotic languages. It would be a secret
Right.
language.
that's hidden. So he might be able
Something
to
like
pick up
thieves'
some-
tongue.
Again, hidden things are my specialty.
Yes, as a
So-
Demir, yes.
I also rolled a 7.
So
Perhaps not.
So I
so
got
as you're listening to them converse, you're trying to pick out the subtleties of the language, but unfortunately, until you hear it extensively, you're not going to be able to. There's not enough. The sample's not big enough. for you to
Right.
gather what it is. You would have to at least spend a few hours listening to somebody speak, and after their short conversation, it's not enough there for you to do anything with. But you do start to puzzle out like maybe names and stuff.
Like
Yeah.
a word flow chart. Like, okay, so this led into this.
Yeah.
Oh, why did this lead into this? And then this also
I pull
came
out
back
the
to this.
whiteboard and I'm drawing the lines between
Because-
everything. Like,
More like
That's
because
funny.
he's a Demir, I would say a conspiracy theory board.
yeah, exactly.
A giant
Little-
cord
Exactly.
four strings. He's like, but I heard it
Tying
like
the
this.
strings to the little pins on the board.
That's hilarious.
So now, what does this word mean?
That's great.
That would be
Um,
the thing that drives Echo crazy, though.
That'd
Not
be
knowing a
probably the
language?
one thing I would even
Not knowing a language, yeah.
Yeah. From what I know of the character, yeah, because you're just so keen on knowing so many things. And you're just like, how do I not know this one?
Yes.
All right. So with that, she says, so you guys distracted me. What was I supposed to say? Oh, what does she want?
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to know what you want from
I
us.
forgot what I was looking for. Gotta
Pass.
find. I hate how this is. Watsy, you should have put all the guild shit together. Who cares if it's separated by player options or not? Like, all the lore should be together. This is stupid and frustrating.
Not knowing a language is frustrating.
True.
Well, what it. Okay, I got you. Looking at some of these options here. She says, well, what we want is very simple. She kind of looks around at the walls and the stone and all of the foreign invasion, maybe? The destruction of nature, I guess. Again, I'm trying to come up with a good way. She says, well, as you can see, the wilds are few and far between. Our guildmaster seeks to grow her power, to return to the world, to the natural order of things, to bring it back into harmony so that the perfect Ravnica, where the guilds would be abolished and all people would live in harmony with nature. We believe that in order to bring about such a dream, that more influence of people of power is necessary. And Trustani believes that you, your city, and world may have the secrets that she seeks. So,
I relay
Would
that
you?
information.
be willing to help return the world to harmony and peace. No wars, no guilds, no. Her eyes dart over to Osiv. Brutish wars, etc.
A
That
naive dream.
is Tristani's dream. Oh, that is naive. Surely you jest. In
I
1,000
I never
years without the
jest.
touch of
Don't tell me
man.
Shirley.
God damn it, dude. In 1,000 years without the influence of man, Mother Nature, Matt Selznia, would quickly overtake this world and return it to its home, to the way it's supposed to be. Does that really seem like such a naive dream?
Do you relay that to me, Garmore? Assuming it's still in Druidic.
It's a little bit in Druidic.
Well, I'm assuming that she's still talking in
Yep.
Druidic. So
She continued. She was
talking.
talking to him specifically.
All right, Echo gets a little frustrated.
Because I have
and
because
He doesn't
her-
like not knowing.
I don't. And I tell her, speak in our tongue.
but she doesn't.
If I
want to
must.
Garmor, do you relay that information that she? Had
Yeah,
just
she
said
doesn't
about the
repeat her.
naive
She doesn't
dream?
repeat herself.
Yeah, I relay it.
Zorax kind of sits up and he kind of like walks over, not like super close to her, but to like approach, and says, "You can never have a utopia in any sort of world when forces such as ourselves, who came out of seemingly nothing, and will just always break the norm that has always existed on your realm. It's impossible. That dream is naive by nature of whatever cosmos we are a part of."
Yet you say by nature. Do you think that's a coincidence?
She's got you there.
You did. Regardless,
I say it's a good
the
dream.
nature that you are referring to and the nature that I am referring to are two different natures. I am referring to the higher powers of the gods of things that are well beyond our control. And Zorax kind of thinks
There's-
to himself, for now.
Just
There
nature
are-
does the idiot.
The world is full of war and tyranny, and she looks around. A semblance of peace, but true freedom comes in the form of the natural world. And as you can tell, she looks around, all of Ravnica is anything but natural. So even if we can't change the entire world, at least carving out a semblance of the natural world here is a good start. So I ask you again, will you accept Tristani's offer? Aid her in her mission, and she will ensure that you and your friends are able to escape punishment, which undoubtedly will affect your city and potentially your home. Now keep in mind, we are also willing to do what we can to help you return home if that is so what you wish. Though, never mind. I'm not going to say anymore.
That really depends on what exactly the help is, because we haven't exactly gone through. We understand what your goal is, but how do we play in this picture? How do we help you?
I say in Druidic, what our city wishes ultimately is to return home. You cannot expect us to complete your goal entirely.
No, but you can aid us in our quest. Right
Well,
now, the Guild Pact is weakening. If there is any chance for us to break these bonds, now is the time. Go ahead, Merle.
Well, on paper, what she says sounds pretty good, but I worked enough legalese after dealing with some demons to know that there might be more to it than what she might be letting on.
Yeah.
I tell her
Because, like, oh, okay, you want to restore nature. Do they mean restore nature as in planting like a few 100,000 trees in the area? Or cast a meteor swarm every couple of 100 miles? Policy. I'm
This is a
just
good
saying.
point.
I look to Merle. Druids don't have the capability to summon meteors.
Well, normal druids can't summon meteors. Guildmaster druids, on the other hand, I'm not quite so sure. And I'm not willing to play that game.
Will, were you going to say something?
yes,
I
I
just
tell her
know
it's
not
my
those
turn.
spells be a
Ian, shh!
thing the arse.
I tell her that it's my turn to talk in a language she doesn't understand. And I look to the group and talk to them in common and say, all right, you all need to do some math. If every guild is going to show up and ask for your help, and it counts as a vote towards basically your survival here,
Right.
you have to be smart about which guilds you work with. Now,
Obviously.
so far, we've agreed to something with the Demir, which makes sense to me, obviously. The Azorius seem to be on your side, as they escorted you here. But
True.
That would be
there
the
are-
Boris, actually.
Oh yeah, I guess
The
the Boris
Boris-
Legion would be the ones.
So
Yeah.
the Boris would be another one that would be most likely on your side. Because the Azorius gave you a trial. That's saying something. So I would say you probably have 3 friends at the moment. But
And we have 2 enemies, the Syndicate and the Swarm, and now the
Right.
the Cruel Clans as a 3rd.
However, I
Right.
would wager that none of their votes matter except for the Senate.
the Supreme Judge holds a lot of weight. But a lot of weight will not get it done if you deny all requests that come through.
Some
Now,
damn good logic there.
I'm not saying you should accept this because these druids are on the brink.
I'd suggest your next words carefully because I am a druid as well.
I
Spy.
understand.
He
But
said
these
those druids, you idiot.
druids are on the brink of great control over the city that would be dangerous to everyone. And
I mean, we would be causing, likely, a terraforming, because I assume they want all the trees instead of buildings, and that would ruin a lot of everyday life on this plane of existence. So actually, I am also inclined to kind of be like, this... Like, I understand the goal is for better, but is it better for everyone else?
Unless their plan shifts the attention to Gruul clan territory.
Which, I mean, perhaps, but they could just be one of many.
And joining the druids would lead to you to have many more enemies than you might expect. Once they start destroying people's homes, it might not go well.
I can see the complications with this that could arise.
We could only play a small part, is what they are offering as a task. Their ultimate goal may not affect us by the time that comes.
May I present? Well, we
Go ahead.
present the idea of urban gardening.
I look
Middle
at
ground.
Garmor and I say, if we let them get too much control, they will decide whether you leave or not. And it won't be your decision anymore.
This is a good point. I am against them at the moment. I don't want to work with them.
I vote in favor of simply because they've yet to give us a reason not to.
Well, the only issue is if we have to actively start demolishing, cities and homes, we're going to be actively going against pretty much every other clan. Because they all have those homes, and they are okay with this everyday society as far as we are aware.
Rebuttal.
Joseph.
Rebuttal. We're making a lot of assumptions here off of not
True.
much information.
Osif steps forward and says, well, if I can include my 2 cents, it would be really nice.
Sure thing, buddy.
Sorry.
What
just
you
2
got?
Copper. He says, the way I see it, as has been stated already, we are here for 2 reasons. 1, to claim our innocence, because if we cannot do this thing, we do not leave. We do not return home.
Likely die.
Elturel is home.
Well,
But by joining forces, we may have to do some things to help spread what she considers good, only for a little while, I think. Once we get what we want, we go home. Future of this plane is no longer our concern. So,
Brings a
is
good
it
point.
worth it to accept her aid in a sector agreement now and hope that we do not have to we will be gone before we have to deliver. Just me thoughts. But then again, I strong, not smart.
Yeah. You know what? Sure. Let's work with them.
Tells them as long as they don't commit any genocide or anything like that. Where I'm. Well,
Hell,
why
if it
you
is
worry.
genocide, I'll
I
take care of it.
say in
He
context,
totally
before
convinced
guys
you to
make
turn
a
the other way that
decision,
easy, huh?
Well,
I
he's
say
kind of made a good point. He's
this
like, you
is-
know, you're right. I don't really care about the future of this place. Sure.
I remind
not worry.
Zorax that, again, their future might be your future if they get too much control.
Right. But last time someone can try to control my future and I hold up the sword, that didn't work out for them either.
Oi.
And I put the sword
That's
back.
funny. So, will you accept my master's agreement or not? I
I
must
say in
return.
Druidic.
Tell
to
them
her.
that we'll at least hear their master out.
We will at least hear your guild master out.
Wonderful.
I believe that's a good way to put it.
She nods her head and turns around and makes her way out. So
like this
with that,
has-
what?
Nothing. Never mind.
Go ahead.
I feel like that we're gonna be using the entire session talking with the representatives of the guilds.
Well,
Aside
yes,
from-
that is the point.
Aside from 2 of them, by the way.
Maybe
Yeah.
3.
Maybe 3.
Well,
Who
the
says
third
they
one we've all
won't approach you? So
All right, we got
with
downtime
that,
again.
we're gonna take 1 second and we're going to thank everyone for joining us. We are Crit Academy, and here, if you'd like to support us, hit that subscribe, hit that follow, or watch this video.
And now, what you've all been waiting for.
Cool.
But you got the correct video there going. It was us.
Yeah, sorry. I think the wrong video. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
So,
Now we
So
must
with
wait for the
that-
other guild master.
yeah. So once again, time kind of moves forward. Andro Sphinx has left off on his own during your last conversation. A new Sphinx has come in, a much smaller one, probably the size of like a dog. Is flopping around. Introduces herself and says, "As you can see, Ramato has been assigned another task, so I, Erasmus, will be helping you. If there is anything you need, restroom facilities, food," and Orsif jumps in, "I want some meat." She's like, "Well, I'm sorry, we do not have that. But I was told that you might be interested in this." And she's flapping there and hands him a strip of leather. And she says, "I'm told you might be interested in chewing on this." And he kind of looks down. He's like, "This is not food, it's leather." He's like, "It's the closest thing we have to meat."
I use prestidigitation to make it taste like steak.
Oh, he smells it and he's like,
Smart.
"Oh, this smells delicious."
That sounds like a Jorah move.
So he sticks it in there and it's like all chewy and stuff. And he sticks it in his mouth and just chewing and chewing. and chewing. He's like,
Here's leather, so.
This tastes really good, but I can't chew it. It's like bad steak. You just chew forever. He pulls it out, and it's all damaged and shit, but there's like no holes or anything in it.
Oh my gosh, it's like gum.
He
gum.
goes,
Meat gum.
and he sticks it back in his mouth, and he's chewing it like some tobacco or some gum.
At least he's happy.
Yeah, right. He's got some chew now, and it tastes like. How long does that last? Does it say like an hour?
A while.
Minute.
Indefinitely.
I'll say a
I don't know
minute.
what the duration.
Actually, it might be
1
a minute.
hour.
Oh, it is 1 hour. Okay.
Yep.
So he's chewing on it for a while, and he's like, "Not bad. You should be chef."
Wait till the magic wears off, buddy.
All right, so
Hey, it lasts longer than real gum.
right, real gum lasts excellent, double the pleasure, double your fun. With this spearmint gum that lasts 3 seconds. So Erasmus kind of is floating around and introducing herself, and she says, "Would you be interested in a riddle?" I've got a
No.
bunch of them. No. Oh, why so mean? And she kind of moves back, flaps backwards a little bit. She says, "Everybody loves a good riddle, don't they?"
I think we would be more interested in a decision.
I want a riddle.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
riddle.
finally.
I love it.
So she kind of floats over and says, "Oh, I'm so glad you wanted a riddle. Everyone always says they want one, but then they can't. They're unable to solve them, and they're not even that hard, honestly." And she starts rambling for a few minutes.
While she's
on
rambling, I go up to Merle. I'm like, "Hey, Merle,
Yeah,
what if I made this Sphinx touch the sword?"
don't do that.
He shrugs. He's like, "Yeah, I guess you're right."
At the very least, wait till after the sentence.
That's Zorax is clearly bored and trying to find any form of entertainment.
In my boredom, I tell Zorax, if you're just gonna tap somebody with the sword, just go to a Dejara. I mean,
No, but I want it
he's
to be
practically
voluntarily.
He's practically falling asleep in the corner over there. He's so bored.
Oh, I could jump scare him
set
by
it on his
touching the
lap.
sword on him. Oh,
So
this
with
is-
that, the young Sphinx floats up to you, Merle, and says, "Are you ready?"
Yep.
It's simple. I have seas with no water, coasts with no sand, towns without people, and mountains without land. What am I?
Intelligence. With
Is that your final answer, or are you gonna roll intelligence?
he's rolling
no, I'm rolling
intelligence.
intelligence.
You were just messing with him,
That's
weren't
what I
you,
was
DM?
thinking. I'm like,
I was like, wait a second.
And I'm going to, with your permission, throw in Brilliant Academic.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's going to be 14.
Oh no, it's a 20, isn't it?
So as you're working this through your head, a lot of different ideas pop into your head that are potentially the answer. An idea, a dream, something that is but isn't, something that is likely man-made, but you think that the answer is maybe a dream, maybe an idea, or maybe a map. You're not really sure because they all three fit. Since you got a 14, you have to pick one of those three, but I gave you a 1 in 3 shot.
Okay. A dream, a map, and what was the other one?
An idea.
I'm going to go with the
Seas
map.
without water,
I'm going to go with the
cities
map.
without
Coast without sand, towns without people, and mountains without land.
I'm going
What
with
am I?
map.
Yeah.
Also thinking map. Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yep.
Oh, wonderful. You otherworlders are so much more intelligent than her eyes dart around to Jura. To some of the locals. The soldiers never get them right, even the easy ones. And with that, there comes a knock at the door. Oh, and as the knock, she says, I almost forgot.
We can see the chat.
Okay.
What?
Garwin said, wait, the players can't see the chat, can they? I said, no, we
Yep.
can.
Even in full screen, we can see it.
Yep, the way that I got it now, everyone should be able to see it all the time now, and even comment if they want. So with that, she says, do you know what it is you gain from gaining or wow, my brain just went up right then.
You railroaded.
Do you know what the reward is for gaining the riddle of a sphinx?
No.
She says, it's often passage. Sometimes it's a wish. What is your wish?
You did not.
There's definitely a list, that's for sure.
Well, unfortunately, you only get one.
Well, I assume what might at the very least get all the citizens of a Faerun in this dimension back to their dimension of Faerun.
Your wish is granted. And then a bunch of sparks and some sounds and some noise, and then a big poof. Well, I'm a youngling yet. And it's basically just prestidigitation. I've got
I
to
should
wait.
wish
You
for a
almost
giant
had me there, DM.
I saw that kind of coming. I was like, there's no way.
Right, yeah.
Wouldn't give anything super crucial here.
I was half
should-
expecting it to be like taking like a genie thing, and like people are gone and we're stuck here still.
Yeah.
For what when I thought of it, I wondered if almost it would have been I would like to return home and just banish it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you insist. Boom!
With that, which is perfectly fine. I mean, you guys can return home pretty much whenever you want. The problem is
Mhm.
Everyone else.
there's an entire city of
Well,
people.
I am.
It could take people, even the strongest spellcasters, days to get that done.
More than that, because you're limited on spell slots.
Mhm.
All
True.
right, so with that, a knock comes at the door, and now the youngling sphinx with the she's got palomino or not palomino, calico cat look, right? It's kind of floating around. She's really happy. You've just made her day. So with that,
How
I'm
many
going
do I
to
sense around the door?
I'm going to offer you an inspiration point for getting it right.
Yay!
And the door, a knock comes at the door.
How many do I sense with my soul-seeing eyes? No, just one visitor. You see Zorax just kind of a little sad and like, man, just one. Does Garmor question the fact that I've been guessing this right the whole time? Given like
How
the
are you
size of the
doing
people?
that?
I hold the sword out.
You could just tell me.
Oh, but it's way more fun if I just like touch the sword.
Fun for you, but what's in it for me for this fun of yours?
You get some answers. Well, some, not a lot, I guess, but some.
I just turned on my fan, so let me know if it affects the audio at all, because it's getting kind of hot in here. You only get one, and you hear a voice. Excuse me. Yeah, yes. Hello, anybody? Yeah. Hello, can I come in?
Oh.
Can I come in?
Sure.
Hello?
No, don't let this one in.
So the calico sphinx is hovering, she kind of stops and looks around. So am I letting him in or not?
Yes.
Yeah, I
This
let him in.
is gonna be interesting.
The door comes in, and you see this like 3 foot tall green goblin-like creature with massive nose, long, chin and nose pointed out, ears, springing out in all directions. I'm sorry, he's not green. He's he's green, but he's very light green, like a tan almost. He's got big old goggles, and it's got several little layers of things on it. He's got, baubles and trinkets and a big giant gauntlet with like crackling energy. He goes, yes, hey, hello. Oh, otherworldlers. Normally only a planeswalker can travel. Are you all planeswalkers?
I've heard that term before, but I do not believe we are what you say.
Do you not you come from another plane, right?
Correct, but
Okay, so you're planeswalkers. The birth of a spark is so rare, and he just doesn't give you an opportunity to get a word in edgewise. He just starts going on and on about the breaking of the creation of the spark, and it happens and so rare. I mean, generally you're lucky to get one in a plane, much less, and he starts counting you all.
Just tell them who you are.
What? Oh, I guess I am so sorry. Excuse my rudeness. He pulls his little things up and flips out the extra guys. My name is Mizm. And I am, I'm here for a number of reasons, not just my own. Master Niv Mizzet is interested. Can I just ask you a few questions before we get down to business? I really got some questions for you. So what is your world like? Do you have magic? I mean, you must have magic. How else would you got here? Unless it's a form of technology. But I saw I was scoping out your place, and it just wasn't that interesting at all. It looks like it's rubble mostly. So I can't imagine you have the technology to do it. So it must be magic. Oh,
we got magic.
Make a deal with the devil? Oh, that could be it. You could have made a deal with the devil. I bet you did.
Not this time.
That's certainly one way to do it. Okay, so you at least have devils, so that's a thing. So, anyways, so
we did it anyway.
You fell from the sky. You obviously, it must be some sort of magic. So how did you get so far away from home?
Can I just tell them who this is?
Okay.
If you are.
Well, we tried a plane shifting ritual on a citywide scale, but apparently the components we had were defective and not attuned to the dimension that we thought it was, and we ended up here instead.
See, he knows magic talk. I don't. I say things went wrong. Luckily, he knows the answer.
I'm checking something really quick. He says, "Oh, that's fantastic." So, yeah, that definitely could be a problem if you've got the wrong the item's got the wrong frequency, or if there's some sort of ethereal interference. I mean, there's just a number of things that could go wrong. It's so dangerous. Like, we've never successfully had somebody do it outside of Planeswalker, so it's just so exciting to see people such as yourself. I've got so many questions. Like, not only did you do it, but you came and you didn't turn black. Like, it's mind blowing to us, and it's just fascinating. And
Zorax,
I really want to know more.
So you're telling me you guys don't have access to the plane shift spell?
What? Oh, nothing like that. No. Planeswalkers can walk among different planes, but they're so few and far between, and even then, they can't generally take anybody with them. It's just a
horrifying conclusion in his head, which is he's thinking to himself, "Oh my God, is Joram actually a planeswalker? Oh my God! Oh no!"
So he says, but I mean, I've got so many questions. The laboratory of storms and electricity is just we've just got so many questions. Like, usually when we try to send somebody to a different plane, they come out the other side all black and hot. And it never works. So we've kind of.
Does your guildmaster want with us?
Oh,
did you mention laboratory?
What? Oh, yes, we do. And he kind of starts wandering over to Merle. He's like, we've got some fantastic laboratories. Like, obviously, I'm from the storms and electricity section, where we do a lot of focusing on controlling the weather, as well as containing and conducting electrical energy to store for external use for later. It's very powerful and very convenient. Unfortunately, it's sometimes not super reliable, and you go to turn on a light and you end up dead. It only hits small numbers. I'm telling you, it's tops 3%. It's just minor. It's fine. I promise. It's all good. It's not even a big deal. We're working on it, though. We're going to get it better. It's going to be okay. I promise.
What kind of physical medium do you use for to storage the lightning magic?
Oh, well, let me tell you. And he starts ranting about all these little, these intricacies of this stuff. Why don't you give me an intelligence check?
Merle, an intelligence check. Oh, wow. I rolled that one.
So he's using words you don't even know what they are, and he starts ranting, and you start to connect that.
But...
Right, but he basically
You know
says
what? Wrong
that.
academic.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's a 15.
So he starts describing some stuff for you, and you are able to. You don't know what some of the words are, but you are able to kind of correlate them to a storage device known as some sort of resonator or a capacitor or something that stores the charge for later use. The energy comes from something called Mizium, which you're not sure what that is. So you're able to piece some of his ideas, but until you look at some schematics and stuff, you're not going to be able to deduce a whole lot. But you're definitely interested in visiting his guild. He says, I am so sorry. I just tend to ramble. You know how it is. You get on it. And then he spends the next 5 minutes rambling about how he rambles when he gets excited and new opportunities. And he just goes and goes and goes. And he says, anyway, so I hail from my master, Niv Mizzet, is interested in offering you an interesting deal, because let's be honest, knowledge is power, and what better power in the universe is there than access to knowledge from another world? I mean, let's be honest, that's just fascinating, and I'm really interested in we want to know more. And so Niv Mizzet will help ensure and even persuade maybe some of the other guilds to you know, lean your way in this judgment, so long as you be willing to come and work with us in our shops and help share some of the knowledge and technology that you may or may not have, whether it's magic or whatever power sources. His eyes dart over to Zorax's weapon and says, or and you see him look at his watch, and he's got this little like gauge on it that has a big arrow that's just pointing directly to Zorax's weapons or powerful artifacts, which, let's be honest, those are such a waste in the hand of somebody like anyways, so would you be interested?
Zorax, actually I should roll insight to see if I can understand what he just did right there.
How about you tell them how the Izzet's experiments have gone with other people that have helped them in the past?
Are you asking me, or are you asking somebody else to say that?
Oh, I'm asking, what was it, the Mizzet?
Miziv?
Yeah.
Mizim, I'm sorry. I got it. It's Mizim. Mizzim. If I mispronounce that again, yell at me.
Got it right the first time.
Mizim's part of the Izzet.
But is it his real name?
Yeah, it's confusing. So Mizim from the Izzet. So yeah, I tell Mizim, how about you tell them how the Izzet League has, what's happened to other people that have worked with you in the past?
Oh, with me personally?
With the Izzet League in general.
Well, that depends on which laboratory you're in now, doesn't it? Some of them are a little more dangerous. I mean, experimentation is part of the game, and sometimes it just doesn't go the way you want. That's life, unfortunately. But
tell me about it.
Progress requires sacrifice.
We
sometimes somebody has to be willing. Sometimes we have to be willing to make that sacrifice. And when it comes to knowledge, nothing is off limits. At least that's what we believe. Mm-hmm.
So, Mizim, I have
yes.
I have a wonderful little deal I think I could make for you.
Yes, can I have that? And he points to your sword.
How many years of your life are you willing to lose for just to touch this weapon? How many years are you willing to sacrifice
for
Well,
this
now that
little bit
depends.
of
There's a bunch of
knowledge.
variables we have to take into consideration. Is it going to affect my body? It comes from an alien world, so who knows what kind of side effects that's going to come with. Not even understanding what the sort of energy that's going through. On top of that, I'm pretty sure that thing is likely sentient, judging by the aura that it's radiating. Now, I don't know that for sure because I haven't actually been in contact with it, but if I had to guess, it definitely probably is. And who knows what kind of effect that's going to have on me. So honestly, I might have a few students I might be able to get in here to help to find out, and we can tinker with it then. I'm definitely on board with that.
Now, I can't let you have it because bad things happen.
Well, then why
as
are
you
we?
orchard.
When bad things happen in experiments all the time. I'm telling you, I'll get one of my interns down here. Well, obviously after all this is done, assuming you guys agree to actually be involved in this. I'm very interested in that. He points over to shit. I forgot Merle's name for a second. Merle's boots. He's like, I'm always interested in flying new ways to achieve flight. You know, we have all kinds of different ways, but I don't see forced energy into yours. And that really is just something that's interesting to me all in of its own. So anyways.
I kind of actually look over to Merle. It's like, I'm sure you could probably work something new for them.
I don't imagine that would be difficult. No.
Oh, wonderful. So you agree to work for Niv Mizzet then, huh?
I agree to take a look at the lab and go from there.
Oh, hang on. Which lab? We have the pyrology. We have the storms and electricities. Honestly, I have to say that is clearly the best. We've won all the sporting events. It's fantastic. The metallurgy, that's one we're working on a lot. And I think that weapon, he points over to Shadow Razor, would definitely be welcome there, I'll be honest. Of course, then there's the Laboratory of Alchemy. If you're looking to not being dangerous, that's the one you're going to probably want to avoid more than any of the rest of them, because let's be honest, those guys don't know what they're doing half the times, and there's a lot of kabooms. So that one you might want to avoid. Then you got the continuism, which is the study of temporal manipulation, which honestly is fascinating, but I never really had a talent for it. So Mom said I should pursue temporal continuum, but I didn't have a taste for it, and it just wasn't as interesting as electricity, I'm going to be honest. Then you got the arcane geometry. That is some really nifty stuff, which I think would go really, really well with the points at your boots, as well as with that one and his druidic nature. They fall along some of the same lines. Never mind the gravitational inversion group, man. Those people, they are so loud and obnoxious. They will ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble about the difference in forces and gravity and how we can use it to levitate, and it's so much nonsense that wings do the job just fine, I'm promising you. And then you got the plasma dermatology, which places emphasis on the combining of opposite elements, which is pretty intriguing when you're trying to develop dangerous new weapons, which is also a family favorite too.
Okay. So I guess we're helping them. We're agreeing.
Bravo,
You
by the
can't
way.
expect me to write all of that down, DM.
I don't. It's fine.
I
This guy was. I was worried I would be able to play this character because I'm not a smart person, so just being able to ramble all this shit off.
I think we can safely assume we send Merle, they'll be happy.
And make sure you get a vote out of this.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I pull up one of my bags, a bag of holding, reach inside, pull out one of the fire crystals I got from Avernus.
Oh.
Yeah.
And hand it to him. I'm sure you can have some fun with this.
Oh.
I forgot about the exploding crystals you harvested.
Yeah, we blew up a
Exploding
cathedral
blood
with it.
crystals from Avernus.
Yeah, he still got them. I totally forgot about
Handle
that.
very carefully.
So as you hand it to him, his little guys, he's got this big giant gauntlet on, and he flips it open and tosses it in, and then you see his gauge go and then break. He's like, "Oh my! Now this is fascinating. Oh my! I must go back to the lab immediately. I will get yelled at without reporting first. I need to do that. So it sounds like we have an agreement. So I'm going to be on my way. Can I take this with me? Thanks." And he waddles his short little ass out, and he's almost skipping on the way out.
I look at Merle as he exits, and I go, you've basically just killed a number of people by doing that.
Yeah, it's water off our back. We've killed a lot of people recently.
Oh my gosh.
And this one, at least they're happy when they're dying. I say it's a plus.
Oh my
This is why I
gosh.
have trust issues with arcanists. No offense, Merle.
Eh.
I don't like any of you that use magic, and I can use magic.
You all suck.
No, hard it is
So-
to deal with people who could just fly. No reason. They're just in the air. I'm a man with a sword. I can phase through dimensions, and I still have problem with these fuckers. I have to learn how to pedista bomb a flying demon.
That's funny. So with that, time is getting near. You only have about an hour left before the judges said to make her decision. What were we gonna say?
Well, I think we got that guild support.
I would hope so by this point.
That's what I
Well,
said,
unless
to
he
make
dies
sure you
before he
get the
gets
vote.
there. I guess there's that.
As long as the
And he'll
ground
die
doesn't shake.
happily in the name of science.
You know, that's fair. I'm all good for dying happy, because I don't think I'm going to have that luxury.
All right. So with that,
We only have 3 votes.
Tell me more.
Well, we have
Assuredly.
3 guaranteed votes.
yes, that's the other thing you gotta keep in mind. These are just people that are seeking you out for something. You haven't been approached by Azorius, but the fact somebody already came to the conclusion that, judging by the fact that they are appear to be driven by justice and honesty and
Fairness.
information,
Yeah.
yes, that you're probably are going to be safe with them. You do have the backing of Boros as you fought with them, so you can assume that they may or may not actually come and approach you.
I think with the 3 guilds we have now, I think we can safely turn down most of the others. Our plate's already getting kind of full anyway.
And as it did say, they would go to bat with for us for 2 other guilds too. So
Right. So that's
But-
at least 5. And one of them is the big one.
If you take any more, you could create conflicting allegiances, and that
Exactly.
Oh, isn't politics fun?
Which is why I think we should abstain from trying to help any other guilds.
But I will be honest, for my knowledge of the guilds, you've done pretty well so far. That's not to
Who,
say
me?
that- no,
Are you
the
talking to
group's,
them?
the group's decision on who to
Mhm.
work with.
Yeah.
I think the easiest one will be, ironically, the Demir.
Hmm.
They just want some knowledge on what we've gone through. And let's be honest.
The Demir, you'll see.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'll probably just get my brain pulled out of my head and I'll just work on it for a bit. We'll see.
potentially all we got to do with them really is give them a couple of library books and call it a day.
Yeah.
You'll
Really, I
learn
think
that the Demir are knowledge seekers. That's true. But they also live by the phrase "knowledge is power," and
So do wizards. So do artificers. I can go on.
This is fair.
I say don't underestimate the Demir. Coming from a Demir.
I would also say that, ironically, the hardest one to probably work with is the people of the Druids. Isn't that strange?
Better them than the Gruul clans.
Absolutely.
Is
I mean,
it?
for all we know,
Oh yeah. Well, let's not count the chickens before they hatch.
for all we know, they might do some doing some planting some crap and some trees to just full on genocide the use of plagues. Who knows?
I will be
Yeah.
honest. The Gruul would have been easier to manipulate to what we wanted.
Well,
But
manipulate is not very strong in on this group. You're the manipulator of the group, and we've just added you. So,
Well, the way I see it, the Growl, we may have pissed them off, but they also struck me out as sharp as a bowling ball. So
yeah. Which also means I'm probably gonna have to fight that big guy at some point, huh?
Unless
great.
you can convince some of the druids to fight him for you.
Zorax laughs. He's just like, oh, the fireworks. That'd be
You
great.
really think the harmonious druids would ever fight against the savage barbarians?
Absolutely. Why not?
You don't think savages threaten nature?
I was gonna say, like, hold on.
A fair point.
Osif jumps in and says, yes, but if you think about it, savages, and then he kind of looks down at himself, rely less on the conventions of science. And he looks over at the building around you guys and specifically eyeballs Merle. So, sure, they'll probably be a little more violent and dangerous, but they're less likely to destroy the environment in the process. And he looks around, he keeps eyeballing Merle and says, like giving away dangerous explosives.
I've only blown up
Yeah.
2 or 3 buildings.
As this conversation,
We did shatter a whole building before. That was a good time.
I thought that was the syndicate.
No, back in Avernus, we shattered a building. Quite literally, the whole side of the building went kaboom because Merle said, "I'm going to cast Shatter."
I wasn't there for that.
That was
When was
awesome.
that?
That
It
did
was- we
happen.
were-
You were there. That
you
was
were
early
there.
on. That was
Yeah.
early on.
Garmore was not there.
Oh, well,
Oh.
you sounded like you were speaking as
Yeah,
the player.
I thought he was talking as player. But yeah, no, you're right. He's right.
Oh, well, you know. Is it time for the Sphinx to touch the sword? Or maybe I can get Jara to touch it. Maybe if I can persuade him one more time.
Why do you want them to touch the sword?
Because I want to watch the fireworks.
Fireworks.
I will do anything in my power to convince Jara to touch the sword.
Give me persuasion check at advantage since you're both trying.
Can I make an insight check on both of them individually?
Why? I already told you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to watch the fireworks.
What are you trying to what are you trying to learn?
Malicious intent.
It's the only setting he comes on.
I was gonna say, are you born under
You don't
a
even
rock,
need
dude?
You don't need a check for that. You can know that he's just trying to cause trouble.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
just trying to be
Yeah,
a
I make
nuisance.
it obvious that I don't like Jara. And I
well,
rolled a 24.
Well, you rolled much higher than me. I got like 13, so.
So
Okay, I hung out with Zorax and Avernus. I know he's a dick.
So as you're
Well,
We
you
also
walk
doesn't take
over
me-
to Jara and he's like,
But he also doesn't take me down because he knows better.
Yeah.
Jara's over there and he's eating some nuts and some cheese and drinking some wine that the Calico Sphinx had brought him. And he turns around and you guys are badgering him to touch the sword.
We're like a
And he's
bunch of
like,
hazers.
Look, I've not fallen for that joke again. I've been down the road. Y'all trying to cause some trouble, and then you come up with a really clever argument.
Do you
of
ever
why
wonder
should-
why Zorax is so strong?
Oh, that's a good argument.
Do you ever wonder where that power might come
How
from? a
strong
little
is
bit?
he? I mean, I saw him fight, but I didn't see anything particularly fantastic.
He can walk through planes.
So can you and everyone in your city.
I didn't walk through the plane.
I'm sorry. Yeah, not you.
I didn't walk through the plane.
But so can all of his allies, down to the water wench.
There's some. I kind of like step up and I say, "You question my strength," and I use thaumaturgy to cause light tremors all around him, as if like I'm shaking the building with my presence.
This is okay. You've proved your point. Fine. And he reaches out and gently and gingerly
I back up.
strokes the end of your sword.
I give
And he
him my
immediately-
+5.
You hear a minion, and immediately, well, it doesn't matter. I got a 4, so. And he immediately barfs all over you.
I'm so
Vomit
glad I backed
projectile
up.
right into you, all over your outfit. Do you have a mask on? You don't have a mask on.
Nope,
do you?
I don't have the mask on
Oh,
anymore.
all in your face, and it's gross. And he goes, I heard something in my head. It called me a minion, and that oh, what is that dark thing? Stay away from me. And he goes off to the edge, and he has the Sphinx open the door, and he walks out. And as he's walking out, you
Do I hear more
see he's retching, he's hurling, leaving splatters everywhere, and you can see it's full of nuts and cheese and stomach acid. And then as he's walking in, you see a man passes him with his chest exposed in a big red. It almost looks like a king's cloak, but the chest is exposed. It's got flames carved in on it. He's got this massive staff that's got a flame on the end, and a whip that's coiled with a crackling flame that he's just kind of swinging nonchalantly. He goes, "Oh, wonderful. Let the show begin." And he strides right in. He says,
Can you cast prestidigitation on me, please? I wish to be clean.
the smell is rancid.
I can.
I fumble his spell casting.
You can't just do that.
Yeah, I could.
How?
Power that lets you do
Will you
that?
count
Yeah.
spelling prestidigitation?
Yeah, are
No.
you just... Then you
No.
don't. You...
Well, hang on.
No,
what
if
has
it's
he got?
if it's somatic, then he could mess with the somatic by
He could hit
fiddling
his
his
hands.
arms.
He's interrupting your casting.
Are you slapping at my hands while I try to clean
He's
him
just
up?
like, eh.
He's like, no, he deserves it. Whack.
Yeah.
So instead of it turning and cleaning you up entirely, your face still's kind of covered, but he kind of gets the spell finished, and it's interrupted by Garmor as he hits his hands. So just your clothes is clean, and you can still taste it on your lips before he recasts the spell and cleans you up. He says,
But it was
well,
I can't
I
cast
hope you
it
guys are
brutally,
ready
though.
for a great show. I've worked really hard on this routine.
Oh,
and
you
he started the
Rakdos
first.
psycho.
He says he holds out the staff and he goes, and he blows this big gout of flames, and he just keeps doing it. But then he twists it a little bit, and you see the flame turns into like a dragon for a second, and bellows and then faints. He's cracking the whip. He's doing all kinds of intricate spinning, dancing ribbing type moves. And he says, "Do you enjoy the show? I'm a big fan. I've been watching you since you arrived." And he's continuing. He's dancing around. With a twist of his hand, you hear a reoccurring beat. And you recognize the spell as something like minor illusion, and it's creating this little kind of beat music. Then he adds another one. And it just keeps this beat going and going and going. And he's dancing and he's spinning to it. Let's give him a performance check at advantage. Woohoo, nice. And he does this intricate move where he whirls the glowing fiery whip in and around you guys, almost like a slithering snake. And then he flourishes with a massive dance move, and drops into the splints and says, "Oh!" And he holds out his hand as if he's waiting for something.
Zorax claps. I'm like, wow.
Thank you.
Impressive.
Thank you very much. That last one I've practiced very hard. I've only fried 3 people with it. It's really great.
Only 3. All right.
Yesterday,
I mean,
yes.
I'm impressed.
And he says, "Go ahead."
So, what do you want from us?
Oh, I much like I'm sure all the other guild masters are doing. I have been sent here by my master, and I'm here to Google the master's name because I can't find it. So if anybody knows offhand, that would be great. Thanks. I gotta Google it. Hang on.
She was Massacre Girl.
What's that?
Is it Isolda? I believe.
Isolda, yeah.
That sounds familiar.
I don't think we ever knew the guild's name other than the fact that
Yeah.
it's a cult of jesters, creepy jesters.
Yeah. I was asking you as the players if
Rakdos.
somebody knew, because
Yeah,
it's Rakdos. That's Rakdos.
it's Cult of Rakdos. I believe it's Isolda. That's the guild champion is what they'd be called. Or maybe it'd be Hikara.
I don't know. This isn't exactly the most friendly book in the world, as I've said more than once. Hang on 1 second. She says, well, anyways, I have been sent here by my master to offer you an opportunity to gain their favor. And you can tell, he's got the jester outfit on, and he's clearly meant for entertainment. I really hate this book. Oh, you know what? I think it's in my notes.
I whispered to whoever's next to me. He definitely laughed with all 3 people that he burned.
That's horrible and yet accurate. She says, so I have come not only to entertain, because after waiting for 3.5 hours, I'm sure that you're absolutely just bored to tears. I know I get bored after just a few minutes. I thought I would bring the heat and make you a little more comfortable, like a open hearth. You know what I mean?
No, we don't. Actually, I don't understand what he just said. But he does mutter to his compatriots, Cult of the Creepy Jesters.
Not the
Very
worst
true.
thing I've seen. Not
With
the best.
disgusting entertainment, according to Visanya.
I mean, as long as they don't say you'll float too.
I mean, disgusting entertainment. I've literally been through Avernus.
This came from our makeshift spy master, mind you.
This is true.
He says, well, the offer is simple. We are looking to start a new troop, one that works directly under my master, and one that will dance and burn and sing and slay to their heart's content. And with the amount of chaos that you have caused since your arrival, we have no doubt that you will be interested in my master's offer. I mean, just think about all the fun that we could have. The people's graves we could dance upon. The songs that we could sing for their eulogies. Let's just be honest, it just sounds like such a blast, wouldn't you say?
I thank you for your offer, but please leave.
What? Oh, don't be so hasty. You haven't
I know a
had the
devil and a
rest of
shield you
it.
get along with pretty well.
Oh, really? You have devils.
I don't think we mentioned anything about that.
Didn't he just say that?
No, he said a shield.
A
you could
shield
get
you'd be
along with.
interested in.
Oh, I like shiny stuff.
What are
are
you
you
doing?
offering?
We're not actually offering this, are we, Merle?
No.
No.
Okay. He was being facetious with you. Please leave.
Well, are you sure Mistress Isolde would absolutely just adore a prize?
I'm
a
sure.
A gift from her new troop would just be wonderful, I think. Oh, it sounds like so much fun. I just want to burst into dancing, and so he does for a few moments.
I'm
That's when my
sure-
cat surprised he understood what I said.
I'm sure she's a wonderful lady.
Oh, she is. She is a flame of
I
hearts.
go towards the Sphinx. Are you allowed to kick people out?
Well, of course, you have to give them permission in most cases to enter. The door will now not open, but see, he clearly took advantage of this
Can
opening
you please
as Jara
make him
left the room.
leave?
She says, well, I will do what I can. All right, shoo, 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 shoo. And as she does that, a bubble of energy encapsulates him, and a portal opens up below him, and he
Whoa.
says, I've always wondered where they go.
I don't even know. Oh no.
It's very Rakdos of them.
That is wow. Okay.
You know, I was about to summon a squad of wolves to scare him off.
Alright.
Zorax has a much happier, positive, newfound appreciation for the Sphinx, and will not make the sword be touched by the Sphinx.
Merle is half wondering whether he should be creeped out or impressed by the creepy clown fire guy.
We're all just left in
Garmor-
awe of this whole situation. Like, that just happened. All right.
Garmor-
moving on.
To echo, what guild was that guy from?
That was the Cult of Rakdos. They have a lot of fun hurting people.
Fun.
No, they do have fun with it.
They enjoy hurting others.
From what I've gathered in my time here.
Are they the cult of jesters that Fasania heard about?
Yeah, they're characters.
Garmor has this body language.
Oh.
So, with that, you guys hear a ding.
Would the Sphinx like her ears scratched for a good job?
Do I look like a pet to you?
No, but I
Well,
mean,
we
I
need
don't
to,
know
like,
what you like, but I want to show appreciation for getting the jester out of the room.
Well,
No,
we
I
think
think- I think you in that, and she points with a claw at your weapon. I'm okay, thank you, but you're welcome, anytime. With that,
So-
that noise signifies that the judge is ready to see you.
Oh boy, we're gonna die now. Well, it was nice meeting you, and I'm sure we'll no longer be here. It was a pleasure.
Well,
Before we,
at the very least, I enjoyed the conversation and the riddle. Thank you so much, Merle. It's been a pleasure.
Well,
I only
guys,
wish I could grant your wish.
it's time to die. Are you guys ready?
Is Jara still sick?
I'm sure
He's nowhere. Yeah, he's nowhere to be found at the moment.
Perfect.
Perfect. That's good.
I transform, I change into looking like Jara. I tell the others I hate myself for this, but this could pay off.
So you're gonna approach the judge, the telepathic one, dressed as somebody else. Am I understanding that correct?
Yeah, it seems a little bold. I won't lie to you.
I
Too
just want to
bold.
make sure I've got that.
Too bold for a Supreme Judge.
I mean, if the rest of the group talks me out of it, then I won't do it.
I feel bad because I feel like I'm saying you shouldn't do that, but in the same token, I want to make sure you understand what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're trying to deceive her or somebody else, I guess would be the.
it's more just any advantage I could get rather than like trying to deceive her.
Mm-hmm.
So
how,
telepathically, I would be fine with telling her that, who I
you
am.
are?
Yeah.
Okay, because she will
And that
know.
he's
There's no.
indisposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no hiding from this judge, I presume.
The Supreme
So-
Judge, need I remind you all as a player.
Yeah. And given my disguise isn't perfect because I wouldn't be wearing the same
Like armor.
outfit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be anybody that's been around Jara recently would know it's not Jara, but anybody that hasn't seen Jara in a while would not know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Works for me.
Be right back.
Zorax is aware. He's like,
So, with that, you guys
each
are
their own.
escorted. You are escorted by Erasmus out to the that big opening once again. The sky is opening. You have the bridge that leads out to the big central area. The waterfalls. Yeah, the massive courtroom. The waterfalls that run over top of the terraces. As you're entering, you see the water kind of spreads enough to allow which you now know is likely the guild. The guild
Representatives.
guild masters and their seconds. You can actually recognize a few of them that you've met. And you kind of have an idea of what's going on now. They were all listening while the Isperia clearly is the one who makes the final decision. They each share their own thoughts on the situation. And that's how balance is kind of handled, right? So
they're almost like a jury to a judge.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. That's exactly what it is. So you guys get to the center there, and Erasmus says, well, I'm not really supposed to stay here, so I will leave you now. And I guess good luck. If you survive, I'd love to do more riddles with you. And she just kind of flutters off. And so with that, it takes a few minutes. You can see there's commotion going on in the guild masters terraces. I need everyone to give me a perception check, please.
I think
I rolled a nat 1. Doing good.
Looks clear.
I'm doing great.
23.
I got a 10.
Oh, come on. 19.
All right. So as you guys are kind of looking out, you can hear the sound of the beating wings of this 100-foot wingspan, creature approaching. You can hear but Merle and Garmore, you guys actually notice that there are a few of the guild masters missing. At least you think it's a guild masters. It's kind of hard to tell, but you notice that the Rakdos guild master is missing his lieutenant or his support or whoever it was, his underling, right? The one that got whooped to wherever he went. And you also notice that the one for the Groll is missing, as well as one of the ones you didn't meet. You after talking with your pal
Mizim?
No.
Talking
Echo.
about the big buff guy? Oh,
No, Echo. You learn that the other one are called Simics. The Simic Combine is missing somebody. But for the most part, the rest of them are there. So with the loud thundering, the whole area trembles as she begins to land. I need everyone to give me a strength saving throw to not get pushed off of the platform.
Do we get Zorax's benefit?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, my worst
I think that's
so.
always up. I think.
Fucking God.
7.
7.
14. The big
I'm
strong sorcerers.
Yeah, I also got a 14. I rolled real low.
Oh, well, that's not great. So,
we all rolled kind of low.
As she comes landing in, the gust buffets you and knocks you all. You go flying off the platform and you fall, and nothing. You can see nothing but the water, screaming by. And as you get just to the bottom, you're about to hit this area of blasted water. You plunge into the water, and then poof, you're back on the platform.
Soaking wet.
Convenient.
No. As the Sphinx lands, you get a telepathic message. I gotta get my amusement somewhere. It's always funny watching people to hear their thoughts that moment before they think they're about to die. There's something about it, though it's not nearly as entertaining when the people are one such as yourself. Next time, maybe hold on to the handrails.
There's handrails.
There's the whole front's got like a little handrail thing, but I think I might have mentioned that last time, but I forgot to mention it this time. But it doesn't
I
matter.
don't think so.
So, anyways, she goes, "It's fine. Happens all the time." So with that, the big thundering, voice and the mental projections. So, I don't remember what voice I gave her. After a long deliberation with the guild masters, we have come to a decision. First, I acknowledge that what you did was an accident. All in favor, say aye. And you see across the way, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 6 votes for you that come across. Obviously, the Groll, the Rakdos, the Orzhov aren't super into you. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, duh, the Azorius, sir. I'm like, why am I missing one? And she says, so you may be asking yourselves, what was the full length of the details? Well, I'm going to keep it simple. There are 2 things. One, your arrival here is accepted as an accident, and that you were under attack by the defensive machinations of the Golgari. And because of this, we will treat it, it has been identified to be considered self-defense. Though the Golgari are not happy that you have used their corpses to build your walls. They find it repulsive and disgusting, and as such, request that you tear that monstrosity down and allow them to at least have some sort of semblance of burying their dead. What say ye?
I look to Merle. We have to.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with a sphinx that big.
I didn't know they were sentient.
It doesn't matter.
Well, we'll make sure that happens.
I will tear it down myself.
I'm sure he could.
The second thing, or the last thing, and you hear a thrumming and a powerful ring in your head, and the image of the Shadow Razor is forged into your mind, ever so powerful. This weapon is not welcome here. So, you have a few options.
Well, at least I have options.
You leave Ravnica upon your own volition, far away from here, as far as you can go, and be cast out into the wilds, which I can't remember the name of that area, so you're shit out of luck for now.
That's fine.
There's a name for it, but you will be banished from the civilized society so long as you wield that weapon. Or you can allow us to lock it and seal it into our vault. In your mind, you're hearing, don't you listen to that bird brain bitch.
Those are the only 2 options,
Indian. Well, there's a third one, but I don't think you'll like it. We can attempt to remove the power that is attached to it. But so long as it is bound to you, there will be potential risk to yourself.
Zorax just recalls every moment he's had where there was just this potential risk to himself that he had willingly fought head on into, including the sword itself, and he says, "It wouldn't be me unless I took that last option."
Okay.
Well,
I see.
I could fight endlessly in the wilds. But for what purpose? To survive? Just I always have. With a sword that would rather have me dead? Or
You
I could.
fool! If you die, who else will take me up? Minion, you will listen to me. Do not listen to this creature.
I open a bag of holding.
So,
Okay,
the third option.
Well, I think he just made a fourth option.
To throw it in the bag of holding and detach myself from it. Yeah, but that's also the same as me kind of just throwing it in the vault. Except we still have possession of it.
That's
I wouldn't
true.
be surprised if they took advantage of that and used it as part of the sealing process.
And honestly, I'm in favor of option 3, but that's another topic unto itself.
So how does option 3 work?
I tell Zorax, you've seen multiple other guilds come through trying to take that sword.
Mm-hmm.
This is just another one.
I agree. But also, I'm interested in option 3. So
Which
you're
is
saying you could
breaking the connection and removing the power from it. I don't remember what order I gave him to you.
that would be the something
Purging-
yeah.
Purging the essence that changed it.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
We're blessing the sword. Yeah, I'm not really exactly sure what option 3 was, but it seemed like it's something about I will also possibly have harm to myself, which is like,
yes,
yeah, well,
it's breaking the sentience of it, basically.
What I, the player, have deduced is that if you unattune yourself with Shadow Razor somehow, there will be less risk to severing to the process of removing its dark power and severing its connection with Zorax.
right. But also, I want to keep the sword.
Yes,
which is
Also-
why
I don't think that's gonna happen, dude.
Purging the
Well-
sword sounds like something that Orzhov would do too. Which means, all right, that's meta. Sorry.
No,
Or
that's
restoring
fine.
it-
Cool story, bro. I love it.
Or restoring it to its original state.
No, I guess I could make this player because the Orzhov are the ones that claim to be the most religious of the bunch, and not saying the Azorius might not be able to, but they might ask the Orzhov for help, and that could put the sword in some dangerous hands.
Yes, but the sword will always be in my hands, assuming throughout the entire process. Which is why there's the bodily risk to myself, which I kind of shrug at. I'm like, yeah, okay.
And unattuning yourself to it is only a temporary thing, is it not?
It is, but also I lose the one thing that I have, which is the power of the sword.
What we seek to do, you hear in a thundering voice in your head, is to remove the taint that is within that blade. The one of two minds will become one, but not without a cost. And there's no telling at how it will affect the weapon's power. But the goal is to drive away the darkness, and more specifically, its thirst to drive someone to kill. For no other reason than it needs to be fed.
I like that option. I always thought it was dumb for a sword to need souls to be fed. Need blood to be fed, I guess.
So
Never made any sense to me. So I like
we
that.
have an agreement then.
Into the bag?
Not
Oh.
into the- I'm holding on to it.
Although I do
With
appreciate
that, then, I will make arrangements for the darkness to be removed.
I wonder what's going to happen to me. We'll see. This is the path I'm walking. I chose it.
So, before the final judgment is passed,
I don't know if you're
is there any
contesting deal with
final
the guild.
words? Are there any final words that you wish to speak in front of this court?
We thank you for your consideration.
As well you should. There are many that think I am being foolish. And I don't disagree, but I understand your plight, as I have seen its kin before.
Medical and relief supplies would be beneficial for our city, Elturel.
I imagine it would be. We will draw up the paperwork.
So where should I be heading next? I assume that my comrades will not have to make this journey with me to have this sword purged.
I just imagined a giant sphinx trying to use a pen and paper.
Yeah, just
Like human sized?
Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, how else is anyone else going to read it?
Just like
Also, you have to
crushing the
the final
pen and
judgment,
like, oh,
as the DM
damn.
said.
So, then, I judge in the case of the aliens of Elturel, the siege that undertook place in our districts. We find you not guilty. So long as you adhere to our conditions, we will send aid. We will help you to find your way back to your home, if that is what you seek. And to my understanding,
Yes.
wonderful. I would then turn you to Niv Mizzet and his inventors over at the Izzet Guild. They are the most versed in technological advances, though you may want to wear extra protection. In the meantime, Dark One, you will meet with some of our angels, and we will see if we can remove you of this curse.
Angels. It always goes back to angels.
I
He
have
says
a
to
request.
himself.
What's that?
I do have one request. That before that his blade is taken to the Orzhov, that it is first examined by the Izzet Guild.
I will draft the papers for a chain of custody and allow this. I assume it's to see if they can help find a way to break it as well. Is this correct?
Are you
I
trying
will
to
send
lie
an
to
arc.
this?
Yeah, I need to. I assume you're just. That's what you genuinely want to do, right? Is see if they can remove it without using their methods. What is your goal?
That's part of it, but they're also interested in magical knowledge, and studying such an artifact like this, I'm sure would help us get on their good side even more, too.
I see. Much to be gained from this, I suppose. But if my understanding is to be correct, there's a limited amount of time before that blade thirsts for more.
How many days has it been?
It's been one.
I have 2 days.
I will
Before
give you
something
one
happens
day.
to either me.
I will give
Well,
you
me.
a day and a half, and I will send the archangels to you to gather you in the dark blade.
I'm sorry. Did you say archangels?
I did.
Ah, great. Wonderful.
Zorax is just like, ever since I was born, I had to deal with angels, and suddenly they're back in my life quite quickly.
That's funny. And she says, now go. And she beats her wings, and a bright
I'm
light
holding onto the
encases
rails.
you. A bright light encases you, and you find yourself outside the Azorius Senate.
Wow, we just
the gate
straight
you
teleported.
entered. And that's where we're gonna end this session for tonight.
Oh.
So I want to thank everyone that joined us. Hopefully you enjoyed episode 5 of Planeshifters. If you
Absolutely.
did, hit that subscribe button, that follow button, all that jazz. Let us know what you think. And thanks for listening and/or /watching. Before we close out, let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, who you played, and something you liked about the game. Let's start with Will.
Yeah, I'm Will. I'm playing the Changeling Sorcerer Echo. And I honestly like this type of gameplay where it's kind of... It can lead to so many different possibilities later in the game. So I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you. Ian.
Once again, I'm Ian Wood, playing Merle Bronson, Human Artificer. And I have the feeling that him going to the Isaac Guild is going to be like Christmas.
I'm really excited for this. This is something I wanted for your character specifically. Awesome. Austin.
Hey guys, I'm Austin. Used to be a co-host at Crit Academy. I was playing Zorax, the fallen Azamar Paladin of the Voidwalker, though we didn't really get to showcase too much of that, but that's okay. Definitely was some of my favorite parts, which is kind of causing shenanigans. I don't usually do that too often as this character. So it kind of made sense that, no fighting going on, him being bored made sense. So I was just kind of like, he's like, if this happened to me, what does this do to you?
The whole time you reminded me of the Avengers when Tony Stark is constantly poking and prodding at Bruce Banner to get him turned into the Hulk. That's what you reminded me of.
Or like everyone's trying to pick up like Thor's hammer, except
Thor's
I'm trying to
hammer,
give
yeah.
people Thor's hammer, and they're like, "Come on, it's gonna be real cool."
Give it a shot. All right,
that was pretty fun.
Except Thor's hammer doesn't make you vomit everywhere.
Yeah.
Excuse you. Hi, my name is Matthew, and I play Garmor, the mysterious druid. I like this game, especially when I get to encounter a druid NPC, which has never happened before for my character.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like
actually.
that. So I am Justin. I am the host of the Crit Academy Dungeons and Dragons talk show. You can come and join us live tomorrow. I'm super excited. We got lots of good stuff. We're going to be talking job boards and giving you some really fun encounters tomorrow or on Sunday. So please come and join us. Our show's an hour long, so jump in early. We have lots of good stuff and unearthed tips and tricks, monsters, magic items, and lots of tips to help take your game to the next level. I want to thank you once again, everyone, for joining this game. And hopefully you had as much fun as we did. I want to say I absolutely am loving this approach. This is different than what I've normally done in the past. I love political intrigue, but it's really hard to do it right. So I hope that I'm doing okay.
I think we're doing pretty good.
There was something I wanted to touch on in the game today, but we ran out of time. But I'm really excited for the beginning of the next session. So we'll see how that goes. I'm old and tired too. So with that, I do want to remind everyone, if you want to check out, we are content creators. We create our own player options. We create monsters. We have just all kinds of good stuff. So maybe consider visiting us at critacademy.com or support our Kickstarter for Extraordinary Expeditions that has a free, at the very least, you can get a free adventure out of it. So with that, I think we'll sign off. See you guys all later. Keep your blades sharp and spells prepared, heroes.
Woo!